Welcome back, motherfuckers. That's not our theme song. I apologize. I am Gray.
I'm Wolfman. What's up, everyone? Just lounging here.
Welcome to with your Punisher shirt.
It's my go-to recording shirt. It's in like 4 out of 5 videos we make, I think.
Because Wolfman owns 2 shirts, and I got to get him more. I have to get him.
I own about 3 shirts that still really fit me right now. The rest of them have holes in them or don't fit. So
don't
yeah,
you hate?
you're partially correct.
I have 2 dresser drawers right now filled with shirts that do not fit me, but I won't get rid of them because I always tell myself I just got to lose like 10, 15 pounds and they'll be okay.
I'm not even kidding. I have probably close to 25 Fright Rag shirts that are like...
Mm-hmm.
And then I got rid of a bunch that were even smaller than those ones. Like, they were old ones. Or torn up or whatever.
Like, you're like, I'm never going to get back to a large.
No, they were just old.
XL.
Yeah, they were old. They got the fucking deodorant stains on them. You know, like, you just like... You cut the sleeves off and you can wear them for so long with the sleeves cut off, and then they get even more rattier. So it's just like, time to go.
Then you make it a crop top, and then, if you got, it's funny that we're actually talking about shirts, because if you guys are watching this as part 2, we're both actually wearing different clothes from part 1.
I'm not. I'm wearing the same shirt.
Are you?
I purposely wore the same shirt. I took it off last night. It was like continuity.
So who's the continuity Nazi now? Last time we did this, I got shit because I wore my Texas Chainsaw shirt the next night we recorded, and you called me out on it.
No, you wore a different shirt. You're like, I don't want to look the same, so you put a different shirt on. No, that's what I called you out on. No.
That was, we recorded something else after, and I said, I don't want people to think that we recorded like serial killers or whatever we recorded.
Yeah, that's what I called you out on.
Then I changed my shirt. But we recorded something back to back before, and I put my same shirt on.
No, I didn't.
It was a Texas Chainsaw shirt.
I never called. I wear the same shirt now in a lot of videos that are the same back to back.
But you said you only have like 3 shirts. I got like maybe 6.
Yeah, but I never called you out. I called you out for changing it in mid and having a different shirt. I never called you out for wearing the same one before. That's
you know what? Yeah,
easy there, fucking Trump and your fake news.
No, wait. I said you ruined the illusion.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said. You're ruining the illusion.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
You're fake. You're your fake news Trump boy.
Hey, you know what though? Fake news, better calm down. I know the news sources that you go to. Okay, I've seen it. I've seen some shit.
You've seen it? You have not. You've seen no news sources I go to.
Since we're talking about news, Batboy is getting married this week. Congratulations, Batboy.
Who's Batboy?
Weekly World News. You don't remember those old like tabloid newspapers, and they would have like the boy who looked like a bat.
No.
You don't remember Weekly World?
No.
Oh my, dude!
I'm not an internet nerd.
It's not internet, dude. This was huge in the 80s and 90s, where like you would see like the Inquirer and the Star, like the tabloids, but it's like a joke. Oh man, Weekly.
I didn't read tabloids and weird news stuff except in the grocery store line when you're like standing there.
But that's where it was.
I never saw it.
And it was always in black and white. It's like
you act like I can see that.
I know. I just saw the exposure. Bigfoot kept lumberjack as a love slave. Hillary Clinton adopts alien baby. Oh yeah, these are gold. These are all fucking great. But yeah, Weekly World News.
My buddy Mizero1, Pat, he says stuff to me all the time, and I'm just like, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about, man. It's another fucking app, another website, I don't want it. That's what I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about some internet fucking thing.
They probably do have an app now. They probably do.
I thought you were talking about some internet video series that I'm like, no, man, I don't fucking know. Fucking.
You already got. We all have a lot of shit on our fucking plate, when it comes to what we watch and what we don't like. But yeah, this was like, I just remember it being a big deal. I've seen like Batboy T-shirts and shit like that.
It's not a Dolph Lundgren VHS tape about exercising from 1987. I don't want to watch it.
That's weird. That's weird.
That's not weird. That was gold, that thing I sent you. Don't lie. Don't say it wasn't.
Wasn't worth the price tag.
Oh, no, it's not. You see the $90 price tag?
Yeah.
There was one that was like,
VHS.
you know why? Because it's Quentin Tarantino's first anything, apparently. Yep. And apparently he was delegated to cleaning dog shit off the lawns that they were filming on. That was his job, and he got a producer credit for it.
Dude, if I could get a producer credit on something, I would do that job. If they're telling me I get a producer credit out of it, fuck yeah. I don't know. Maybe not dog shit. I don't know.
It's fucking dog shit. Like, you act like you don't clean up dog shit with your own dog. Does it make a difference?
I don't. My dog doesn't shit inside, and we live in the woods. So she just adds to the, the bears, and the deer, and the fox
illegal.
shit.
Clean your dog shit up, scumbag.
The fuck out
Clean
of
your
here.
dog shit up, scumbag.
I walk in areas where nobody walks except me and the dog.
Everyone now knows Ray doesn't clean up after his dog when she shits.
Yep, I fertilize the ground. I don't. Well, sometimes I do. If I gotta go, I'm in the woods, just fucking pop a squat. And...
That's illegal, too. You're supposed to take your poop with you. You're supposed to take your poop with you.
Just put a plastic bag over my butt and run and poop.
You're supposed to poop in a hole, then scoop it out, put it in a bag, and take it with you.
Eventually, when we get an interview with Rab himself, I do want to ask him what it's like to shit when you run full speed, because he's the only person I know who did it, and
I think he shit out a car window while driving.
100 mile an hour.
He shit out of a van, like with the door open, I believe. Also, like hanging on, like
held the door open.
And then hanging on the sliding door, shitting. He's the expert of shitting while in motion, apparently.
Yeah, he is the world-class shitter. He's like the Gordon Ramsay of shitting in motion.
Or just shitting in general. It's some weird... I wonder if they gave him... I wonder if he ever had to take... If he took shit to do it, or if he just always had to shit all the time.
He took X-Lax for that running at full speed shit. He actually has a stand-up bit where he tells the rest of that story, because they went out that night and he didn't clean up properly, and he hooked up with the girl, but he took way too much X-Lax, so while hooking up with the girl, he ended up I'll share the link with you.
Hooking up with a girl, that's amazing.
Oh, man.
All right, so almost 8 minutes in. Welcome to part 2 of GrindHaus and 42nd Street's
I
Dust
did
Till
say
Dawn,
we're in part
the breakdown.
2. So
I know. I'm fully saying it. Part 2, Dust Till Dawn, the breakdown. I'm gonna watch the movie.
This movie might actually make me poop myself. I've seen it plenty of times, but never get tired of it.
So
this is a good watch.
Well, I was gonna say, we both own the movie. You own a digital copy. I actually owned many copies of it, but I have a
DVD copy and the digital.
Since I've now only have a Blu-ray copy, and I warn people not to buy it. It's a piece of trash. It literally has no special features, no audio track selections, no director commentary, nothing. What they want you to do is buy the
special edition.
It's not even a special edition. It's a 4-pack. They even sell it by itself. They made like a almost a movie itself about the making of the movie, and you basically have to buy that in order to.
But if you have the DVD,
it's on it.
You have the extra content that they're trying to show.
There might be some other stuff
or
on
have
there,
you chill
but
out an extra.
Yeah.
But that box set is part 1, 2, 3, and then a 4th DVD with extras for all movies, right?
Yeah.
So that might
I'm
be
pulling.
Yeah,
it's not terrible, but it's just bullshit. Like.
Yeah, the original Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Because Blu-rays are supposed to be the higher echelon than DVDs, but the menus are lazier. No. They don't have as much content. I mean, okay, yes, your sound and video quality are better, but literally that's it. There's nothing extra about it. I hope DVDs do not go the way of the dinosaur, because I have so many and I have an appreciation for them. Action Jackson.
I'm trying. Fuck. What the? It's called like something boogie. I can't remember what the hell it's called.
Hold on.
I'm pulling a mind blank, and I'm like looking. I looked up the wrong like thing. I don't know why I decided to do that. So the guy that did the music in the movie, though, I was looking for something specific about him, and I couldn't find what I was looking for. But then I realized what I wanted, and it's not what I thought it was. I confused it with something else. But he's done a lot of music to movies. Yeah.
Hold on, before we go there, it's called Full
Full
Tilt
Tilt Boogie. That's what it is. I just found it also.
Yep, it's on Amazon for like $8, $10.
Yeah, but then you can get the 4-pack Blu-ray
that comes
with
it.
It's not even like a disc. It just looks like it's probably on like one Blu-ray, which is fucked up. So that means like there's not much. Maybe two Blu-rays, maybe part 2 and 3, because I can't see them really having many special features of that. Because honestly, I don't even know those were released on DVD. They might have been VHS only for all I fucking know. I mean, they probably got a DVD.
The features,
yeah.
Part 1 and the features on the DVD, and then part 2 and 3 on their own DVD. I can see that for sure.
That's probably what it is.
So the guy who did the music for this, you said that he had done a lot of music for other stuff?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me pull it back up on...
Oh, did you ever hear that the strip club, or the bar, was inspired by Apocalypse Now?
No, I didn't hear that.
Okay, so Rodriguez said in an interview, but I couldn't find the actual interview. He modeled the exterior of the titty twister on Kurtz's compound from Apocalypse Now. Do you see that at all?
I don't remember what the place looks like in Apocalypse Now offhand. If we had a Laserdisc player, I'd be able to watch it again.
I know. God damn it. Fans, if you guys are listening.
I'm pretty sure I bought that on Laserdisc. I think I did. I think that was one of the ones I got. Stop your grumbling. Doggo's grumbling. I had to find his name. It's like Tito and the Tarantulas. But then the guy's name is Tito Lavarva. And then he did he did some of the scoring for the movie Repo Man with Emilio Estevez, like back in '84. He did a lot of stuff. He did a couple songs for that. This is how I found this video. He did the scoring for the Dolph Lundgren Maximum Potential video, the workout video. That's how I ran that rabbit hole.
This guy was potentially working with Tarantino as far back as like 87, 88, whatever that video.
First thing. Yeah. He wrote a song in the movie Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze, one of the songs that were performed by that band. He did Desperado, Dusk Till Dawn. He did some Tin Cup, Full Tilt Boogie, a bunch of other stuff. Dusk Till Dawn 3, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. He did a song. Prison Break, Supernatural, Hell Ride, Machete, The Shepherd, Machete Kills, and he did something in the new Halloween movie that came out in 2018.
Okay, yeah.
He did various things in these movies as part of the musical team and scoring. So,
right. So he's a composer, not just a musician. He actually can compose, score music.
Yeah, he actually did the whole composition, it seems, for Repo Man, along with some songs with his old band. What the fuck was the name of that band? Coulier, maybe? I forget what it was.
Dave Coulier?
No, not Dave Coulier. No cutting it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
No cutting it out.
Oh. You got to be careful around Dave because... Well, no, not around Dave.
The Plugs, that's what it was. The Plugs. His old band was called The Plugs, and he did. Because Because it sounds like a punk band. Yeah, they scored the cult classic film Repo Man, and contributed 3 songs to the soundtrack. So that's Tito Lavara.
Nice.
So I just thought that was pretty cool. It just got missed out on that.
I know. We just jokingly mentioned Dave Coulier, but what I was saying is you don't want to get entangled with Alanis Morissette, because if you break her heart, she will write an entire album about you, and it'll become massive, which is what she did for Dave Coulier. That Jagged Little Pill, her first album.
I didn't even know
that song You Ought to Know.
I don't know. I don't even listen to Alanis Morissette's music. All I know is Alanis Morissette's. All I know is she's God. So you know.
They're Canadian. They're Canadian. So they all.
No. I mean, all I know is she's God. She played. You know, that's what
Dogma.
God looks like. Yeah. That's all I know.
So if you've ever heard that song, You Ought to Know, you know what I mean? Listen to the lyrics of that. That is about Dave Coulier cheating on her, and like, oh my God, it's so funny, because then you just watch Full House and you see this guy with the puppet and be like, man, this guy's an actual fucking prick in real life, you know? Or Alanis Morissette is crazy. I'll believe both.
Yeah, I mean, she's a musician. She's probably crazy, but I mean, he's no fucking picnic either. Someone that's so wholesome like that's got to have some deep, dark skeletons, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, at least Bob Saget's out in the open about himself.
Yeah, Bob Saget never tried to hide it. I think his publicist in the 90s tried to hide it, because between Full House and America's Funniest
Well, he wasn't
Videos,
allowed to do stand-up during that stuff.
Right, because obviously if you've ever seen his stand-up, you know.
His stand-up was a little calmer.
Said and done,
well, his stand-up was a little calmer beforehand, but after he got done with that, it was just like an explosion of shit that just had to get off his chest and just went wild, basically.
Yeah, I think it got worse.
It got worse
time.
After. Yep.
As it should have, honestly. He had a ton of fuel for some decent stand-up stuff afterwards. Anything else before we hit play?
No, we're watching on Vudu. It's free with ads.
Yep.
Hopefully you don't get the same ads we did. We're not going to talk about them though. You'll know if you see them how much it's hated. Now,
just before we do get started, I know we usually save something like this for the end, and I'm not going to go over it in full detail, but I just want to throw out the number. The budget is an estimated $19 million for this movie. I'm not talking about gross or nothing like that, just the estimated budget.
Yeah, and it made about like 68 or something like that. In the theater.
Well, in America it did 25. But I think around about after the world. Well, hold on.
I remember reading it. It did.
It says it even says worldwide 25. Actually, the worldwide and the gross US is the same. So maybe it never got released. In
I remember
theaters
it being
around the world. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to check Wikipedia on that one. Yeah, it says box office is 59.3 million.
Yeah.
On Wikipedia.
I remember seeing that elsewhere. That it was. Yeah, it was like 60 million.
Yeah, IMDb put it at 25.
Yeah, I remember seeing it higher than that. That's why I was. Yeah, maybe it was the Wikipedia is where I saw it. Because this says 25.8 million. Yeah, 19 million estimated. It was the highest grossing movie the first weekend. We talked about that when it came out.
Yes.
That's the $10 million the opening weekend, 10.2 million.
Yep.
And then slowly went down. Well, not slow. I guess went from like next week it was third, and then just kept going down. I guess. But.
Yeah, and it's weird because at a $10 million weekend opening is fantastic, but
especially then, not so much anymore.
Oh yeah, but if it did 19. Or if it did 60, that's two completely different scenarios. You know, or if it did 25 million, you know what I mean? But we'll get into that afterwards. I just wanted to bring that up for people who watch this with us. When you see these awesome practical effects and these great camera shots, you know, this budget was a very modest budget.
It's got some subpar CGI a little bit in it, but it's subpar now. That was kind of like what it looked like then, though, unless you had Terminator money. which
James
you
Cameron
have
money.
James Cameron money. Then you can make your CGI better, but all CGI looked like this, and it was only sparingly used. So,
and that's the beauty of it.
They didn't use it for
was
everything.
Used the way it should have been. The way CGI should still be used today is to only do things that accentuate the shot you have, not completely make the shot, dude. Like those Avengers movies, I watched something on YouTube. 99% of those are just on this big green screen, like massive, like almost half a football field size green screen. And yeah, it's not the same, man. But yes, if you want to watch with us, we are watching the free version on Vudu with ads. But this is definitely a DVD, or not necessarily a Blu-ray, but if you have it, it's whatever. But this is something you should own for your collection. If you are a horror fan, this is a must. Absolutely have to have it.
Off the top of your head, this is kind of a loaded question. It's kind of unfair, but in the vampire realm, how high do you rate this in vampire movies? I'm not looking for a list. Was it top 5, top 10?
No. I definitely definitely a top 8.
A top 8?
And in that top 8, I would fluctuate it between 8 and 5. So even if it was a top 5, it would be right in there. But I actually see this movie as something... It is a vampire movie, but I see it as something more. Because the first half of this movie is like a straight up, almost like a Tarantino
Well, the first
movie.
half of the movie is just a crime drama almost, in a way. Not drama, I guess.
Right.
It's a hostage movie. I guess it's drama, like, whatever.
Drama, action.
Yeah.
And a lot of people actually, they said on purpose that they tried keeping the vampires out of the trailers initially because they wanted to surprise people what kind of movie it actually was. And a lot of people at the time were really thrown off when vampires started showing up. And I think that's the beauty of the movie.
A lot of people hated it because of the vampires. They talk about how 3/4 of the way in, they were just like, this movie sucks now. Yeah, they just kept it the way it was, but I don't know. I like the vampire, so that was a nice twist.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll be 100% honest with you. The fact that the actors treated this movie the same in the first half of the movie as they did the second half, like it didn't get campy and hokey or nothing like that, really works for this movie.
I do wish that he actually made sequels to this, though, and not someone else. I wish they would have wrote sequels to this movie and explored it, because... It could have had like a really cool mythos with him, Tarantino writing and Rodriguez directing, and it could have been a really sweet trilogy they could have made,
But I can see why he may have become disenfranchised with it. Tarantino rarely, if ever, did a sequel to any of his movies, whether he wrote it or directed it. And it might be something he's doing now, like you mentioned. It
looks like he's making a Django movie. He did do Kill Bill 1 and 2. It looks like there's a third Kill Bill coming up, which I don't know where they're going to go with it. But with as much as original content as he can pop out, I'm surprised he doesn't just keep, you know what I mean, the way his mind works. I'm sure there's tons more original shit he can be doing. I'm not trying to shit on sequels. His sequels are great. Kill Bill 2 was amazing. But
yeah, and he is a master of dialogue.
Yeah.
So he could literally make a movie about a guy changing a litter box and make it interesting. So when he does a crime drama action vampire movie, like, you know it's gonna be fucking good. There's no way it can't be, you know.
It almost feels like the GrindHaus, where like Tarantino directed the one film and Rodriguez did the other, even though they kind of possibly helped each other along the way.
Yeah.
Maybe whatever. Yeah. Like, this feels like two sides of a movie. It feels like Tarantino did the first half of this movie and Rodriguez did the second half of the movie. Like, it really does feel like, even though Tarantino just wrote the screenplay and Rodriguez directed everything, but it does feel like two movies. And it's not a bad thing that it does. You know, I like the
No,
surprise
no.
switch. I think it's cool.
And Tarantino didn't just write half a script and then they winged it. He wrote everything. So Tarantino's the one who put the vampires in there. You know, I really wish he would have done more horror. And I'm not saying he won't ever. But yeah, like I said, I think they knocked this one out of the park. And if he did a werewolf movie or a zombie movie, oh God, I could just imagine, dude.
All right.
I know it's very cheesy for people to gush over Tarantino. It's almost like you know, oh well, you're a fan of Tarantino, he's overrated. You know, no. He is good. Whether you're an indie fan or whether you are like a cinema snob or whatever, I said this on part 1. Everybody can find something they like about him or his movies.
This is true.
Yep, we are at 4 seconds in, which the Miramax logo is just popping up for me. So if you want to start watching this with us, you could either hit play, you know, and catch up, or just be 4 seconds behind, whatever. All right, and ready for play?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Again, the Miramax logo, which also put out Scream, right? Or was that Dimension?
Might have been Dimension or New Line. I don't know.
This is Dimension too. Miramax. All right. So the same companies that put out Scream the same year also put out this movie. So the two biggest horror movies in '96 were put out by the same production companies, Miramax and Dimension or whatever. And for a long time, they were the top name in horror. I'll say it hands down. You know, they killed it. So we open up, and we're in this little, a little gas station. It looks like it's out in the middle of the desert. First thing I want to say, the colors in this movie pop. They're using awesome like ND filters. The sky is blue, but the browns look nice, orange, and just so good. Are you reading something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was actually trying to figure out exactly who produced Dimension. Scream.
Oh, the actual person, not the company.
No, the company. I'm just trying to I wanted to make sure we're right with that.
Yeah, it was Miramax and Dimension. I know that for a fact. Sorry, yeah, we're being a little quiet right now. But we have the sheriff who walks in this gas station, goes to the cooler, and he looks like he picks out, could be a beer, maybe a root beer or something like that. And he's talking to the kid behind the counter. I say kid, he's probably like 30.
Well, I mean, it's a
asks,
sheriff, so I mean, in this time, he's probably drinking.
Yeah, well, he just asked for a bottle of booze.
Yeah, Podunk Town.
They keep the booze. Yeah, they keep the booze behind the counter. I think he got Jack Daniels he asked for, so he has his little bottle, and now he has his whiskey. And it's, you know, I didn't think about how difficult it may be, because usually we can tell people what people are talking about in scenes, and eventually we probably will, but a lot of Tarantino movies are dialogue heavy, and you kind of just have to watch it. You cannot really have me explain what their conversation's about, because I'm not doing it justice. The nuance, the subtle pull-ins and pull-outs, and you just have to watch it. But yes, they're having a conversation, the sheriff and the kid.
It is Dimension, but it doesn't say anything about Miramax. By the way.
Hold
Scream.
on. Yeah. If you go on Miramax's official website, Miramax.com, Scream is up.
Is it? It doesn't say it anywhere when you look it up. It just says Dimension.
Yeah, and then it was owned by Viacom's at the time. Viacom CBS. Or no, now Miramax is owned by Viacom CBS. But
Oh, you know why? Because
yeah.
Dimension Films at the time was part of Miramax. That's why. The production
Okay, so
company's
yeah,
Woods
yeah.
Entertainment, but I don't. Yeah, I think Dimension's on its own now. I don't think it's part of Miramax anymore. I don't know. Oh, anyway, that's a
Well,
whole nother
yeah, but
thing for us
Miramax
to
is
figure
now
out.
owned by Viacom, so who
Viacom
knows if
basically is in the
Dimension split
shadows
off or
owning a
not.
lot of shit these days.
Oh my God, Viacom owns everything from like Comedy Central
Yeah.
and like Spike. You know, not, they're
Yeah.
examples, but they own a lot of stuff. Um,
So basically, we got a
What do you
big,
think
just
of
a
this
big monologue here. Like this is Parker, the guy that plays him. I forget his first name off the top of my head, but he's the sheriff in the other movies. It ties in with fucking words.
Kill Bill.
Well, not yeah. I was thinking of the other one, Death Proof. Kill Bill, Death Proof.
Oh yeah, Death Proof.
Yeah.
Yep. But now we get the introduction to the Gecko brothers. As the sheriff walks into the bathroom, you get George Clooney as Seth Gecko and his brother, who was actually played by Quentin Tarantino. So although Tarantino's not behind the camera in this movie, he's definitely in front of it, and he wrote it. So this is a very Quentin Tarantino heavy movie.
Yeah. And
What,
you can see the heavy prosthetics on him right now because his head and everything is hidden and very small. If you notice now in real life and later in the movie, I think that's like his real form. I think he's got lots of hiding and makeup and shadowing and it's tucked away somehow. But his head is massive and very
he has a bulbous head.
very Frankensteinish head right now these days.
Yeah, it's probably all those ideas that he hasn't gotten out yet. They just need to come out.
I actually truly wonder if he has some sort of disorder because his head is just fucking massissive. Especially compared to how it looks now. Like if you look at like a side by side.
Have you seen my Quentin Tarantino full-size replica? No.
Yeah.
This is literally what it's like. Oh, Edgar, that's good. What do you think of Tarantino as an actor?
I mean, he's not terrible, but he's not good either. He did get nominated for a Razzie in this, for this movie.
Right.
But, I mean, it's not bad, but he's not good either.
It has to be a very specific role written for him.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of other people I've rather seen played his brother in this movie. I mean, it sort of works, but, like, I could have seen it being better if someone else did it. I'll be honest, you know?
So right now, as we were talking, the shit just went down. The sheriff came out of the bathroom, started talking to the kid behind the counter, and well, there it is. What's his name's character? What the other Gecko brother? Seth
And Richie.
Tarantino. Richie said that the kid behind the counter told the sheriff, that they were in there. He set him off or whatever. So Richie comes up, puts the gun right behind the sheriff's head, blows him right in the, blows his head off. Then as the kid behind the counter starts yelling and whatever, Richie shoots him, but he's not dead.
Nope.
So he's trying to open a safe right now. Finally gets it open. Has a gun. Shoots Richie, gets him in the arm, and then Seth, kind of a shitty shot.
Well, it gets him in the hand.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Oh my God, yeah, that's right. Right through. You got a nice little. I'll tell you one thing.
It doesn't matter now because you're gonna die in a couple seconds. Classic.
Yeah. Nobody can drop an F-bomb like Tarantino. Like, when Tarantino says fuck, like, it feels good,
This is a pretty genius idea.
Now,
they're very smart criminals. They're going to shoot out the bottles of liquor behind the... Shut up! Sorry, doggo's a little bothering me here.
Yeah.
They shoot out the liquor bottles behind the counter, and then Clooney's character, Seth, there, lights a roll of toilet paper on fire with some lighter fluid and just kind of heaves it grenade style behind it and just burns the guy to death just about. But
nice little
surprise!
Almost like a makeshift Molotov.
Yeah. He's still alive and shooting
while on fire.
Yeah,
fully in flame,
it's
fully
an awesome
engulfed.
scene. Like, it's a good burn effect.
It is.
It's an actual guy on fire, like a stuntman. He has to jump up from behind the counter, jump up on the counter, then fall off into popcorn. But that's like kettles of popcorn, like kernels, and then you hear him popping. It's kind of hilarious. Like, it's very, very tongue-in-cheek scene.
No, it was done very well. I very. Now, Richie grabs a roadmap of Texas, and they walk out like nothing. They're having this conversation, and literally as they're talking, the store has a nice little explosion, blows out the windows from the side, then the front. They're not even acknowledging it. They're just talking so normally, and it. Oh God, it's so. You know what? It might be considered a movie trope now that the people don't look at the explosion behind them, and actually, that cop movie with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
The other guys?
You know which one I'm talking. The other guys, they actually mentioned when the explosion went off in that movie, they said, in the movies, no one ever reacts, but this is bullshit. I can't hear a fucking thing. You know? Harvey Keitel gets top billing over George Clooney.
Well, at the time.
Again, at this. Yeah. Exactly. At the time, Clooney was ER and, like I said, Grizzly 2. Awesome song.
Yeah, it's such a great like opening, and then you got the title of the movie, and then they give you kind of everyone else that's in it, just a quick pan of names.
Very GrindHaus-esque.
Yeah,
having
it's just that southern bluesy twang, like. It's very.
Oh, and then they hop in the Mercury.
Yeah. That southern classic rock now, as you would call it, like sound to it.
Yeah, definitely classic rock. Now Seth just took a couple pills, downed it with some some whiskey.
Yeah.
And as he's doing that, Richie holds his hand up and looks through the hole in his hand at his brother. Awesome fucking shot.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
And you see Tarantino just wrapped his hand a little too tight, though.
Yeah, And then he takes a swig of the whiskey, spits it on his hand. But the whole disinfectant aspect, right, just went out the window.
Just went out the window. It didn't count because
what did
it's
you think
taped
of that?
up. What the little where they show the girl in the trunk, a little thing in there? It's kind of funny.
It's
like I think it's comical.
I got an ad.
Yeah.
Wow. I think it was done for laughs. Like, I don't think that was like a legit thing that they were impressed with. Like, oh my god, look what we can do. It was
Yeah. It was supposed to be funny. Like, now but they also have a girl in the trunk. It's one of those. But like, this is good that we have a commercial here because I could talk about something that. So I've always been into like tattoos and stuff and whatnot, especially when I was younger, But I was like, this movie.
Me too.
This movie, and then with George Clooney having the neck to hand tribal on his arm, like just one flowing piece, and Carrie King always like influenced me with like tattoos. Did your movie start, by the way?
No, I'm at ad number 2. It's like
all right. Mine started.
15 seconds left.
It skipped an ad for some reason. I just want to make sure we're at the.
Oh my god!
So I'm
gonna be stuck with this shit.
But anyway, I'm going to do my story. Just pause it at 11:52 in the movie when it starts.
It's about to come on right now.
All right. But anyway, let me finish my story. So this movie, seeing him with these tattoos, Clooney, the tattoos kind of change a little bit throughout the movie. It's not like perfect in every scene. It does change, but I always wanted like a fucking neck to wrist, like tribal or whatever. And I know people think tribal's gay, but like.
But you know what? That's a new thing.
It's
in '96.
Yeah, it was like huge, but I still like it because like the way I am, the way I play sports, my mindset, I always saw it as like tribal's like a warrior thing. Like I know people say it, they'll be like, that's lame. You're not a warrior, not whatever. But like,
or what tribe are you
what tribe
from?
But you know what? Yeah. Like, I'm part fucking Viking. Vikings had fucking tattoos, so fuck you. That's what tribe I'm from.
Yeah, but regardless, it's First and foremost, it's art.
Yeah.
Tattoos are art. So it's in the eye of the beholder. And if someone likes the intricacy of the tribal stuff, then that's on them. Nobody else has any right to say.
I have this lame ass tribal now, unfortunately, instead of getting what I wanted. Because the guy wouldn't do it because it was my first tattoo, and he's like, "Oh, we'll do it in pieces," and blah 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 blah, and it just never worked out that way. So I now, to this day, still had the same.
Real quick, where did you pause at? What?
11:52.
I gotta play mine a little bit more. It's funny. How old were you when you got your first tattoo?
18 or 19. I forget exactly. It was 18 or 19. It wasn't much older than that. I got all my tattoos from 18 to like maybe 24, and I haven't been tattooed since because of money and whatever. But I've never, like, my tattoos aren't even finished, so I just have unfinished work that's never.
Yeah.
It just sits there.
I haven't gotten a tattoo in a long time. I would probably say at least 5 years. But I got my first tattoo on my 15th birthday. And I got my tattoo before Gore, before my mom, because now my mom and Gore both have tattoos. Gore has a full, solar system sleeve and a giant Cthulhu going down her leg. But I was 15 years old. And, of course, my first tattoo had to be a cross, because I was under the influence of what is something like I'll never regret, because I'm young and this and that. And lo and behold, a few years later, I'm like, man, kind of wish I didn't do that, but now it's just a part of what I got, you know what I mean? But my tattoos were always spur of the moment. I never made an appointment. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna go get a tattoo, and the content of what I have on my body resembles that. You're
random tattoo guy.
Yeah, just let's get a tattoo. Yeah. So my last one was this Raven Nevermore thing. You know what I mean? And I just thought it was cool. Fuck it, put it on. Little goblin, gremlin. Fuck it. I want to get a, So, and that's what it's been every time. I could get a wild hair at my ass sometime next year and decide to get another tattoo. But
yeah, I've always had these somewhat planned out things, and nothing's ever gone my way because I'm just an idiot when I get tattooed. And that's what's the thing. If you're going to get tattooed by someone you don't know, because then they can't take advantage of you because they know you. Everyone I've known has given me really good deals on the price, but I got what I paid for, and I got nothing the way I wanted it. I always bend to their will, even though it's my body they're tattooing on, and then they want to do it this way. They cut corners. You give them X amount of time. I give people over 30 days to draw stuff up, and they draw stuff up the night before you come in, and just freehand it. You freehand it. They freehand it right. Like, I spent all night, I'm arguing with the one girl that tattooed me. She's like, I spent all night drawing this up. I'm like, all night? I'm like, I gave you what I wanted and a picture and the fucking DVD 30 days ago. All night. Yeah. You have 30 days to draw this up, not fucking all night yesterday.
You literally could have spent 2 minutes a day on it for 30 days. It would have taken you an hour. Yeah.
And just
now
it's just frustrating.
Say Gore is friends with her tattoo artist, but she became friends with him because she went to him for tattoos. They weren't friends before; they became friends, and that's why her work is awesome. Because his name's Philip Gallagher, Irish Buddha. I'll fucking give him a plug right now. Some of the best work I've ever seen, reasonable prices. If you want to see his work, just check out Gore's tattoos. I mean, they're awesome. But yeah. He did the sleeve, and then it was like, you want to go to a convention, enter a contest, and she's won some contests and stuff. So now she gets awesome deals because he knows that she will go show off his work and be in magazines and stuff like that. But she still dropped a good amount of money on ink, which I can never say I really did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've spent too much money for too little, even though I got a lot done though, but I've had a bunch of go over.
You have two full sleeves though, don't you?
Full two sleeves. I wish I did.
Oh,
I have
one. I thought one
one not finished sleeve, but it covers the whole. It's just not finished, and then just my other tribal on my other arm. It's just a fucking band that's not even what I wanted. I don't regret. I don't regret the tattoo itself. I regret. Well, I regret the tattoo, but I don't regret necessarily what I got. I wish I would have got it what I wanted. If that makes any sense. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, no,
I don't,
absolutely.
like, people be like,
You
"Oh,
got
tribal band, you're such a fucking, jockey douchebag, whatever." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, that's not what I wanted. I just fucking,
if it came out the way you wanted, you would be able to justify
and
it a lot
the way
more
things
than...
were like explained to me, like what do you want to do? I guess it made sense in my head at the time, but I was young and dumb. Now it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, him trying to explain it then.
yeah, yeah. He's
Looking
like, well,
back, yeah,
we'll
I
do
can see
this,
that.
we'll do this, and then when you come back, we'll do from there down to your wrist. And he's like, if you come back again, we'll do from your shoulder up your neck, and like we'll do it in 3 pieces, and it'll all go together and whatever. And it's like, yeah, it did not go. He just wanted to make sure I was like gung ho about it, but he didn't really know me. I was friends, like we
Yeah.
became friends after, and he also held that against me
Right.
because I stopped hanging out with him. But it wasn't because I stopped. I lived like 45 minutes away and lost my job, so it's not like I just drive to the tattoo
Yeah.
shop and hang out anymore. He didn't understand that, like.
Yeah, no, you're gonna
Some
go
people
there
are
'cause you're getting
fucking-
work done. Yeah, absolutely.
No, I used to go there and hang out with him all the time, but I worked 5 minutes away. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
I'd
so
get
you
off
were
work and go
working-
hang
okay.
out. I'd work and then go hang out and stuff. And then, after I got, like whatnot. And I got fired less than a month later after I got my tattoo. So we started hanging out a lot. And then I'd go up there here and there, hang out. But then it just became too much, like not working in the area.
But
now
you
I
were
was
hanging
working
out with them because you were in the area. You were
yeah,
working. So you'd
yeah.
stop
I mean, he
by.
was cool
Yeah,
as
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
We had a lot.
Okay.
We had a good time hanging out at the shop, like just whatever. Like I ended up fucking,
Yeah.
helping out, like cleaning and doing bullshit around the shop, just because like I'm not gonna sit there and just be a fucking mooch like most people, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if I like you, I'm gonna help you out, like.
Yeah.
I didn't go fucking clean bathrooms or anything, but I'd look after the store if you went to go get something to eat. I talked to people when they came in, like be like, all right, he'll be back.
Yeah,
'cause
make sure
it was his store.
the books are on
Yeah.
the rack and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It was like his store, But then, I've had 4 different people tattoo me on like one sleeve. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like
that's
one person
tough.
does something, you don't like it, and someone tries to fix it, and then I had random tattoo that I tried to incorporate elsewhere. Like, just it is what it is. But I mean, he's a cool
Yeah.
person. It's just, and he's a he's a good artist. It's just some shit. I don't even know.
I like.
Last thing
I
know,
like.
he moved to Canada. For
I
all
like
know.
random tattoos. Like yes, a themed sleeve is always cool, but I like the randomness because they each tell a little story. Like Steve-O, not all of his tattoos are great, but goddamn it, each one tells you a story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
But,
my sleeve is
yeah.
essentially it's essentially 1, 2, like it's like 4 tattoos, kind of all combined into a
Melded
sleeve.
into one. Yeah.
Even though it kind of looks like it sort of goes together, that was kind of the point. But you can see when you look at them, they're 4 really different things
artists.
going on. Yeah, well, yeah. 'Cause, I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like you've stared at my arm, but
Yeah,
anyway.
no, I haven't. Like, even when we were hanging out, I didn't take notice
Yeah.
to it or nothing. Yeah.
But like
All right, well, we are
the one half is up here, the one piece, the other piece is in here, and then you have the eyeball here, and then you have everything else that fills around it. So it's like it's 4 different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see,
I
that was
wasn't
the
trying to
first time
show
I
you. I'm
got-
just saying
actually
like,
sat there and
but
looked.
I'm just saying like.
No, I
there's-
know.
It's like you wouldn't notice it unless you looked at it, and then you're like, oh yeah, there is like 4 different kind of parts.
Yeah.
Like,
But they tried to put it together.
yeah. There's only one spot that
All
has
right.
color in the whole thing right now. It's kind of weird. Anyway, back to the movie.
So that was our tattoo breakdown. We are at
no, but I thought it was
11:52
relevant because this movie and Carrie King
because of this
what
tattoo. Yeah.
got me into tattoos. Like I just thought it was like the coolest thing, but like actually we didn't say real quick, like just going through the tattoos, especially in some of these other places, like getting tattooed on your ankle or like your fucking your little tramp stamp or whatever. Those aren't like when you do,
Above your
like,
butt crack.
your inner arm. I got 3 hours straight my neck tattooed. You know what I mean? These are like hardcore. Like it's like a rite of passage, man. It really is. It's very
Oh yeah.
like spiritual in a way. Not that I'm spiritual to a certain, but I mean it's like
No,
if you can go through it.
but there's certain
like it's rough. It's
there's
not
certain
like,
parts of the body that it hurts and it's more rewarding. I'll tell you, the top of your arms, like the outside and the top of your arm, is nothing
No.
compared to the inside
Yeah.
of your arm.
Yeah. The
Or the back
wrist.
of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, my wrist
The
hurt a
wrist,
lot, but
yeah.
I've had surgery there though a bunch of times. Like no, the inner. So I've had surgery in here a bunch of times. So yeah.
Yeah.
That hurt. Yeah, obviously the inside of the arm hurts. Anywhere that's kind of like doesn't see the sun on a regular basis and is a little extra fatty, those are the spots that hurt because they're not used to, like, I feel like the sun almost deadens some of your nerves a little bit because it's just
like,
beating down when you get sunburned.
Leathery
it's just,
type of...
Yeah.
I also do have 3 tattoos across my back, like each shoulder and the middle of my back, and the back of my neck when it came up. It was sensitive, but it wasn't like...
Yeah, but your back's like the main thing. It's touching a lot of things. You lay on it, you sleep, you move. It's like, your inside of your arms, or like say like your inner thigh, or somewhere like places this isn't like.
The rib cage is what I heard like people pass out from.
Yeah, but
like,
there's nothing there though. It's just you're right on the bone and the nerves. There's no. It could hurt. Yep. Some people it doesn't.
It's all soft meat. It's all soft meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't notice the difference. It's like the girl, like when she got near my jawline, she was like, "Oh, it's gonna hurt like really bad," and I didn't notice it all hurt. It's just, I was gonna say, what's
the difference right here? Yeah,
because of the bone right there. Like when you go near it, might
like
the nerve endings in your teeth, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, back to the movie. So 11:52.
All right, you're at 11:52. Yeah. For some reason it wouldn't pause for me, so I'm at 56. So go ahead and hit play.
Yeah.
And
hit play.
Now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's slamming the bell.
Gecko. Yeah, smacking the shit out of a bell. Finally, this old version of Bill Moseley. It's not Bill Moseley, but it looks like a very old version of him. Walks out from this room, and he's, it's like, the fuck's your problem? He's like, I need to get a room.
Yeah, what the hell do you want? He's like, what the hell do you think I want, old man? I want a room. It's like, all right.
No, I'm not sitting here to take you on a date or nothing.
This isn't exactly the type of place that people stay at regularly, though, when you look at it.
Well, this looks like the kind of place that people would stay at for an hour at a time.
If they even stay there at all. It's just in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah. Now, I will say, when I was doing a lot of outreach work with like the homeless and less fortunate, there was hotels like this in southern Delaware and Maryland that people actually lived in for 30, 60, 90 days at a time. They would get vouchers from the community and stuff. So this is a pretty ratty hotel. They open the trunk, and they have the Hispanic maid. She's tied up. Very much looks like you know what? She might not even be a maid, but she's
a bank teller. Why'd you say she's a maid?
Okay, bank teller. Because you know what she looks like in my mind? Consuelo from Family Guy.
Doesn't.
With the hair. Dude, totally does.
Consuelo's wearing like an actual maid outfit. This lady's wearing like a business suit.
I saw the white with the black and the hair with
the
short
truly question
and black.
Your brain sometimes. I'm just saying.
You know what? I'm gonna put 2 pictures together.
I know what Consuelo looks like. I know what a fucking maid outfit.
I'm not saying for you. You've made up your mind. But I'm going to see what other people think at some point.
So
that totally
so for car people though, this is a '68 Mercury Cougar XR7 that the Gecko Boys are driving. Looks very similar to almost very similar to a GTO
like a
type, yeah,
and
whatnot. It's a cool car. It's probably
it's great.
Not a super popular car, I would think. Maybe with like collectors it might be, but in movies you see a lot of the Chargers. You see you always see Mustangs and Corvettes and Camaros and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that Cougar back in the day was one of the lesser known muscle cars.
The Cougar was popular in its own right, but it was never iconic. It was never like a Mustang.
That's
or
what
a
I mean.
Camaro
Yeah, it's one of those
Corvette.
lesser known like muscle cars back in the day,
But
especially those late 60s.
I would still put it up with like the 442 and
the Olds is
the
another iconic
Thunderbird.
car, though, yeah.
Yeah. So Seth right now is questioning this lady. He's just like, I need a yes or no answer. I mean, it's your
gives
basic
the rules
hostage
of
thing.
the rules. No noise. I'll shoot you. Don't ask questions. I'll shoot you. Don't try to escape because my little friends are faster than you are. You know.
Yeah.
Quentin hired Clooney for this. He liked the fact that he was known for saving lives in ER, and he was like the ER guy. And now he's the bad guy that's like taking lives and killing vampires. He just thought that was very funny. And obviously you get Quentin's twisted humor for the most part, so it works.
You know what makes this difficult, and I said this earlier, the first half of this movie is completely different from the second half. Trying to describe a Quentin Tarantino movie without being spot on with the dialogue is difficult, because half of the reason that makes this so great is the conversation that these people are having.
And how they're having it, like the actors themselves, like he's doing a spot-on job and very believable.
And I will give Robert Rodriguez his credit, because this looks like something that Quentin could have directed, but he didn't.
I think it has a lot to do with the writing. Even though someone else directed it, as long as
to the script,
I don't think he messed with it too much. He added his little flares, maybe his own angles and whatnot. But they have a lot of similarities, even though they both direct slightly. Like they're like us.
They're very
similar
influenced
in the middle, but like they're very polar opposites on the other side. Like Quentin's always
the
more
extremes are completely extremely different.
Quentin's more of the dialogue guy. He's very smart. Where Rodriguez, he can be smart and can write, a little bit, but he's more the action guy. You know what I mean?
I think they set the mood differently.
Yeah.
Tarantino can build up a lot of suspense with a conversation, where Rodriguez can build up suspense with nothing being said, just showing you what's going on. This guy's pulling up to this car and this clock is turning here. You know what I mean? Rodriguez is very good visually, which Tarantino is as well. Now we're introduced to the family.
Well, we're going to talk about Richie real quick, because we skipped over, because we were talking. He did invite her to go sit on the bed with him to watch TV with him.
Yeah.
And you obviously know something's off with him already. So you're getting like the feeling that something's going to go wrong, and then they cut away from it. And you're almost like damn it. It's like a good edit. It keeps you in suspense of what's going on with the scene,
They held, it feels like, I feel like they held on that scene like an extra second or two, and that was part of that suspense, that visual suspense. Nothing was said, but if they would have cut from it too soon, it would have been very nonchalant, and like, oh, whatever, she got on the bed. But holding that scene just long enough, it's like...
Yeah. And then they skip away, and you start learning about the family. Right now, we're introduced to Harvey Keitel.
Harvey Keitel is the father. Like you said, he was a priest or a minister.
Which contradicts some stuff later in the movie, though, unfortunately.
Yeah. He had lost his wife, and like you said, although he still believes in God, he doesn't necessarily believe God's around or God's there for him or whatever the case is. He believes there is a God.
Yeah, his faith is struggling, basically. In a nutshell.
Yeah. His kids are played, by Juliette Lewis, or not? Juliette Lewis, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And the guy, what was his name? I forget. Because
it's his one and really only movie. It's his first role. Yeah.
And in the credits, it actually says introducing, and it says his name is this character. So, I mean, this was supposed to be, I guess, the thing that launched him, but he never really did much after it. I think Sam was his name in the movie.
I'll let you know in 1 second. So his name it's Scott. So they're the Fuller family, and his name is Ernest
Fuller,
Liu.
Yeah.
I remember it being some weird. Yeah, Ernest.
Scott.
It's just a weird name. Ernest Liu.
Yeah, not a common name. Oh man, they should have got Jim Varney for that role. Oh my God, it's vampires. You know what I mean, Vern?
Jim Varney playing Harvey Keitel's role.
No, Jim Varney playing Richie.
No.
That's who it should have been.
No. He has to be add some goofiness to it. It's not evil Ernest. It's not from Ernest Goes to Jail. Fucking,
Oh, Evil Ernest was
it's
the
not
best.
evil. What was his name? Fucking.
God, you scared me.
Fucking. God damn it.
What?
The guy's name was like Slim or something. I forget what they called him.
My dog just came in and scared the shit out of me, by the way. I didn't hear her come in because I'm wearing the headphones, and I felt her tail hit my back, and I just jumped. Hi, Muna. Come here. You never come in here when I'm recording, at least. Come here. You want to say hi?
Mr. Nash, that's what it was. Mr.
Nash.
It just sounds like, a fucking sleazy prison guy.
Oh. Say hi,
Here's our dead girl, unfortunately, that she passed away, the news reporter. It's very sad to hear about her going. I don't mean to make any
No, Kelly Preston.
shitty. Kelly Preston. I didn't mean it in a shitty way, but by saying, "Oh, it's the dead girl," but I don't know.
No, she just recently passed, and we're watching this movie, and she happened to be in it. They're doing the newscast of the escaped convict. Now, I don't want to cut it short, but Harvey Keitel and Juliette Lewis just had this scene, and I guess Harvey kind of gave us a little bit of an insight into his mind and where he is right now, and he explains where he's at with his faith a little bit. But yeah, this newscast, which is actually filmed.
I'm
like
just laughing because the
awesome.
liquor store clerk, his name is Pete Bottom, and I just think from the League, it's like whatever fucking his friend's name, whatever is like whatever top Pete Bottoms or something like that. The League, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know the League.
Yeah.
I'm not.
They were making fun of.
Like, I haven't seen the show.
Yeah.
I know it's very. We talked about
there's
it before.
our John Saxton.
Awesome.
Plays FBI agent. Mm-hmm. It's a little cameo, basically. You gotta have John Saxton in a Grindhouse movie.
And now we get our Kahuna Burgers making their
Big Kahuna
infamous,
Burger. Get it right.
Well, did it say bit? I thought it was just Kahuna.
No, it's Big Kahuna Burger.
Oh, and the beer. That's right. The Changa or Changa, whatever. That was from Desperado. Clooney gets a lot of shit, but I don't think he gets enough credit as an actor. Because, like, a lot of people put him in roles, or they say that he's in roles where he just plays George Clooney, which part of it's true. But I think he has some range.
So now he's like, wait a minute. They're handing out the burgers, and he almost forgot about the woman from the. And you actually, as a viewer, sort of forget about the woman. They did on purpose. They do this good circling around. And you're like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, she's in the room. And Clooney busts in and just has this look on his face. And then they start showing you little snips, like little flashes.
Almost like in Fight Club when you have the flash, or they call the cigarette burn. Just a very instant. I bet we could probably pause it, but it'd be a little bit of work trying to actually find those clips.
And then he starts going off on Richie, like, what's wrong with you? And Richie tries to say she turned into another person. She tried to escape. And, it's all... He's starting to realize more and more that his brother is just a little fucking crazy.
A sociopath.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Like, they're both criminals. They both kill people who get in their way. But Richie kills people for the pleasure of killing people.
Well, even
and I think
Clooney
Seth
says
is
it.
seeing that.
Seth says it though. He's like, I don't kill people. He's like, I'm a burglar. He kind of has been killing people because of what's been going on with his brother, but that's not his MO normally.
Well,
and
this is kind of like what we talked about last night when we recorded our episode of the Serial Killers Academy. Is somebody killing for the joy of killing, or are they killing because they want something else, whether it be sex or money?
Yeah.
And it's a means to an end.
So he was in jail.
Seth does it.
Well, yeah, I would say he was in jail for robbery and whatnot, and his brother broke him out of jail because he was about to get a long prison sentence for it. And then I think those are like his first kills. I'm in ads now again, by the way.
Me too.
So
This weird
he's
Bryan
been,
Cranston shining Mountain Dew ad.
I'm getting a Grubhub ad actually, but anyway, he's only killing to get away from the police. He's only doing it to get away. It's not like he's enjoying killing. Richie just straight up is delusional, is seeing shit. Like he's his own little fantasy world. He's definitely got mental problems, and he's seeing these people do things, which they show more in depth later when Richie's starting to lose it even more and break.
Yep.
Oh god damn it! I got fucking hiccups up there. All right, I'm out of my ads, by the way.
Yeah, our movie's back, and Seth is hugging Richie because like they're brothers. You know, obviously he cares about him, but Seth.
Well, where are you in the movie?
Knows.
What time?
They're in the RV. Oh, 25:18.
All right, I'm at 25:20.
All right, hold on. I'll just hit play, and then 2 seconds you hit it. So, play. And play. So, yeah, they're staying at the same hotel, it looks like, or at least their RV is parked at the same hotel. And, yeah, Keitel, he gets in the driver's seat. Scott, whatever, he goes back. Juliet, she's standing, or sitting in the captain's chair next to him, and they're ready to take off. Beautiful desert landscape. You know, I couldn't imagine living in the desert area. Like Arizona, dude, I just saw reports the other day, like parts of Texas and Arizona, that it was like 108 degrees.
Yeah,
but it felt like 115.
Well, but it's very dry, though. There's no humidity. So our 90 degrees around here, like with the humidity, it's kind of like the same heat out there, even though it's like a higher temperature. You know what I mean? Like with or even 80 degrees with a high humidity, it just bakes you. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still hot. It's hot regardless, but you don't get as sweaty,
sticky.
gross, and sticky. You just get hot. It's a little different.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. They just had an interaction with Seth as they were. Hold on.
What?
Scott is playing a little electric guitar, and I just wanted to see what kind of guitar it was. But it's a silver tone, like some low, like a Sears guitar, basically. But they had a little interaction with Seth as they were pulling the RV. He actually like stopped in front of them. They had to slam on the brakes. They had this little bit of eye contact, and Seth walked away. So yeah, now the family's in the hotel room, and
knock on the door.
Scott's playing his little silver tone.
Well, so Richie's at the door now. They knocked. Are you there yet, or?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
I'm here.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, we had played at the same time.
Well, I don't know. Shit happened. I just want to make sure. So he just wants to borrow an ice bucket. The typical ploy. And as he turns around to get the ice bucket, Richie puts his gun out, and Seth comes in, punches him in the face, and it's
pretty good straight. Good straight. You know.
Yeah, a little cheese going on there with the line, and it's fun. It's written, and they just go over the rules of, I need your help.
Hostage
Yeah.
Now Scott is wearing a Precinct 13 shirt. Did you see the kid? He's wearing a Precinct 13 shirt.
Yeah.
Is that in reference to? Oh, come on.
John Carpenter's Assault on Precinct 13.
Assault on Precinct 13. You think that is?
Yeah, it is. It's written that it is.
Okay.
It could also be a band technically, but I think it's a.
That's what I was like. Maybe it's a band, but
supposedly it's a reference to John Carpenter's movie.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was written in the wiki that it was.
Yeah. Now Juliet Lewis walks in the door. They immediately get off the bed. Both point their guns. And then Seth has to turn back to Harvey and the son. So basically the entire family right now is held at gunpoint. But Richie seems to be infatuated with Juliet Lewis. I think she just came from the pool. She's wearing a bikini. She's all wet.
Yeah. I mean, first off, I don't know who would be swimming in that pool. And if it even was operational, it's kind of weird. But anyway, that's here nor there. But Richie,
a pool in the middle of the desert.
In the last scene, Seth is grabbing him and he's like, I don't kill people, I don't rape women, I'm not, So he.
Hey, pause.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, I'm listening.
So in the last, he was saying, I'm not a rapist, psychopath, murderer like you are. They kind of didn't go fully in with that. So when she comes in the room now, he has this little delusion now that he just asked her to eat her pussy, and he's just like.
She asked him.
Yeah.
She asked him. Yeah, she actually turns around and like is like not just like a normal like, hey, would you, very seductively says, Richie, would you eat my pussy?
So
like,
this
just
is like
that,
his
just like, bah, 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 bah.
His mind is definitely seeing things, because obviously not what happened.
Yeah, not in a million years. Someone at gunpoint's just gonna, hey, you know what I'm in the mood for right now? Someone to eat my pussy. I'm at 29:13.
15.
All right, play and play. Oh,
yeah.
He tries to throw the keys to Richie. He tries to grab it with his bad hand. He's like,
yeah.
ow.
So the keys fall down in front of her though, and as he comes up, he just kind of stares her down from head to toe, all creepily, and he's like, "Come on, get some clothes on." He calls her Gidget, which is kind of like a throwback to old TV shows. There was a Gidget.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just one of those Quentin Tarantino things with writing, you know what I mean?
Random reference, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta figure out what the exact name of it was though. But
now Seth told her to get dressed after he told Richie to go get the vehicle, and he did that specifically knowing if she was dressed like that the entire time, it would be an issue. So like, they're setting Seth up as the better of the two, but they're not letting you forget that he is a criminal. So, technically he is a bad guy. And he plays a good bad guy. If you look at Clooney's roles throughout the years, I don't think he's played many evil people or bad guy, roles. I think they've all been main good guys, and I think he plays a good bad guy.
So Gidget is a surfing boy crazy like teen that lives with her widowed father, and I guess it's a sitcom from 1966 and 65. Just one season.
Okay.
It's just a throw. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, a completely random.
she was in a
reference.
She was in a bikini. He he called her Gidget. It's just one of those totally random Tarantino things that if you didn't know a little bit about movies and TVs, you would have totally missed it.
Oh, absolutely. Now, at this point in the movie, we are
and
officially...
that was a throwback to
30...
when he said Ramblers, let's get rolling. It's a throwback to
I saw that on Wiki. Yeah. We're officially 32 minutes in, say. At no point would you think this is a vampire movie yet. If you've never seen this movie, and I can imagine the people in theaters watching this and expecting a Pulp Fiction, a Reservoir Dog, like they're like, oh yeah, good chemistry and this and that. Oh, just wait.
I'm kind of like I said, I'm glad they did it like this. It's just funny. Put your mouthpiece in. I grind my teeth.
Yeah,
it's like he's like a little kid. He's got to take care of him,
Yeah, without Seth, Richie would definitely be off the far end.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like even if they didn't put the vampires in this movie, though, I feel like it still would have been an awesome movie. Like, if the movie was about two criminals trying to make it down to Mexico and they had this family with them, and like the shit,
and then they got into trouble in general at the bar. If they weren't vampires, they just got into, brawl, and then
like
now they're on the run
situation, or
they're on the run from the cartel there or something, or these,
or the biker gang,
biker gang, could have been cool.
I would have loved, to seen that movie too, though. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So right now, Seth is having a conversation with Harvey Keitel as he's driving, and You know, he shows a picture of the wallet with that picture of him and his wife in it, Harvey Keitel and his, his deceased wife. And obviously they get into what they're going to get into. And basically they're just trying to let you know where Harvey is in this movie. You could say exposition, but it's not bad exposition. It's not the kind of exposition in an action movie where, like, the cop comes in and, like, the action star is, like, drunk on his couch. He's like, oh, well, you've been in 4 wars and you have a kill count of 100, and ever since your kid died, you've never been the same. They're trying to, like, set up all this background stuff. This is done well.
I see it as just, like, Quentin's normal monologue between people. He's trying to make a connection with these two and set some character boundaries, because Seth is, like, pushing buttons, and he's trying to see where his limit is, just as a little bit of a fun, you know.
But it's more natural. You know what I mean? It's not forced, which a lot of our cheesy action movies, like your Chuck Norris and Van Damme, a lot of those movies have cheesy exposition where they want you to know something about their past, but they don't want to do what Tarantino does, which is actually, explain it tastefully. Yeah. They just give you, like, a rapid fire,
Yeah. This scene is to try to set up. I mean, he's trying to poke at him a little bit, trying to, rub him a little bit, but in turn, he's really just trying to get in past that wall a little bit, get him to open up and get a little emotion out of him, so he can maybe build the trust with him. Because Seth is kind of he's an asshole, but he's not truly evil like Richie. He really doesn't want to harm these people. He just wants to get into Mexico and get on his way. And he wants this guy to understand, like, you just play play ball, the way things are going to be, and I'll let you go, and you do your thing, and I'll keep my brother away from your daughter too. He's like, you don't want my brother and your daughter. You see the way she looks at him, or I mean, he looks at her, and you don't like it. And then there's this little, I'll kill you if he touches my daughter, and he's like, I'll kill everyone if you just, fuck up, basically.
And, like, the other thing you can think is, if Seth is trying to get this Harvey Keitel's character to open up, then maybe at some point he could also have leverage. Because when you get into someone's emotions and you know what makes them tick, you could very easily use that against them. That is what a lot of, like, manipulative people do, is they look for those openings. Right now we have Richie, who's pretty much just staring Juliette Lewis up and down from feet to head. Just, what do you think about Juliette Lewis? Like, do you think, like, she's attractive, or?
I was never a fan of her, personally. But I know a lot of people are. I mean, I guess she's not really just, like, she's not really ugly, but she's not my type, not my...
I would put her as a very average-looking, pretty girl. Like, I can see why people think she's attractive and stuff, but it's a very average.
If I never saw another movie with her, I would like her more in this movie, because she just looks like an average girl. But it's like, I've seen her in so many things, and she's just annoying, and I have other feelings that cross over. You know what I mean? Like, I still see a little bit of Mallory Knox from Natural Born Killers in there, and it's just like she's totally off the chain and hinged, and it's just, it's not I don't know. She's a likable character for the movie, but you're just like, those thoughts don't cross your mind. You're like, is this an attractive character?
I liked her as Mallory Knox. Yeah. I really did.
But she's not an attractive character in that movie, and for some reason that crosses over to the rest of, I don't know, it's just weird. Great movie, though.
If you know her, if you know her as Mallory Knox, every time you see her in a movie, the first thing you're gonna think is Mallory Knox.
And she's kind of like that in real life a little bit. She's a little crazy, a little unhinged, a little weird. So it's like she's playing the polar opposite of her normal self in this movie, where she almost really didn't have to act too much in those movies.
Yeah.
Or in that movie, I should say. And some of the other ones she did.
So now they pull up to the border. And Seth, tells him that they're going to go hide in the bathroom with the daughter. So that way, if they say anything, you know what I mean, they have a little bit of leverage.
And we get a first Cheech.
Yes. The what did I say it was? The story of three Cheeches.
Three Cheeches.
This is our first Cheech, and Scott is trying to convince his dad to like tell the guys, the security officers, what's going on. But your sister's in there, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't think he sees the big picture. I don't think he realizes like that they would actually do something bad to her. I don't know. He thinks the fucking. He's like Mr. Goody Two Shoes, that kid, and he's like almost too much, you know. He doesn't realize how bad people can really be, or what his consequences.
Very naive.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you can tell the guards, but they're gonna kill everyone. They don't think he realizes. They rather kill all of you guys than get caught themselves.
Like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I actually almost didn't recognize him. Cheech doesn't have a mustache.
No,
in this
he's
part.
been cleanly shaven in other things. Like he's done a couple roles. He had a long time role in something, and I don't remember what it was off the top of my head.
It looks completely different without the mustache, though.
Fuck, what was it? I'm trying to.
So now the security guard asks Harvey Keitel, how many are with you? And he says, just my son and I. So he didn't say anything about the daughter. So you're already lying if they did come in and even saw your daughter. You know what I mean? Like, you're already off on a bad, you know.
Nash Bridges, that's what it was, with Don Johnson.
Oh, yeah, Nash Bridges. Yeah.
He did something like 6-7 years in that show. And he had no mustache. He was just cleanly shaven. You know, it was like totally not Cheech at all. You know what I mean? Like, it was him, but not the Cheech you think of, you know? So, yeah, it was 6 seasons, 122 episodes.
So right now,
96 to 2001.
Rich and Seth were having an argument in the bathroom. Richie was kind of going off a little bit, and they made a little noise, and the security guard said, "What is that?" So, yeah, Cheech says open up, he's coming on board. And this gets a little nerve-wracking. Because if you've ever been in the bathroom in an RV, I don't know how the fuck they fit 3 people in there. Well, honest to God.
On that RV, it seems a little bigger because there's a shower in there. But I don't think realistically you could have hid those 2 with the curtain open a little bit. Because you'll see when he comes in and he looks in, the curtain is not fully closed. So maybe it's the angle, but I don't know. It's I don't know. So that's a big bathroom in that RV because that's all bathroom right there. See, it's like a good size. Like that's all shower on that corner.
Oh, yeah. Now Seth actually just had to knock out Richie because Richie was being a little too much, being a little bit of a fucking spaz.
Yeah. See how much room there is.
Wide open.
Yeah, well, it's not all the way open. Like that must be a deep shower, I guess, because no one's there right now. You know what I mean? It's movie making. No one's actually in that, you know. And then they cut to them there. I mean, I guess it doesn't seem like it's deep enough. I'm sorry. Like it doesn't.
No,
maybe
it doesn't.
It is.
Absolutely not.
Maybe I don't know. Whatever. It's a movie.
Yeah. Now, did you just get the little bit of a hint that
Cheech was a pervert?
Well, yeah, Cheech was a pervert, absolutely. But that Juliet is more willing to work with them. Of the father, the son, and the daughter, doesn't she kind of be
she gets it.
More on board with help?
Yeah. She gets it. Plus I think you know how I guess I don't know if is it sort of a trope that the innocent girl's always got like that little bit of wildness in her. Maybe she starts to like.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Kind of. Yeah. Especially the way her story arc goes in the bar and stuff, like, and then at the end of the movie, you know.
Not like a Stockholm Syndrome thing.
Yeah.
She's not like getting attached to her captors, but like she
has a secluded life. It's almost like she's feeling alive, maybe. Yeah, I know. I just got an ad. Same goddamn ad every time, almost.
Oh, but I got 1 of 1, so I won't have another one after.
I've had 1 of 4 or one of 3 every single time, and it's only played one ad and gone back to the movie. So.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. So I'm back to the movie.
Hold on.
You smacking Richie.
Me too. Where are you at?
42,
50?
56, 57.
All right, hold on.
I feel like it keeps cutting my movie ahead a couple seconds. I'm at 59.
Yeah, hold on. I'm at 57, 58. So I'm like a second or two
All right,
behind.
so,
it's okay.
Yeah. I just, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're at 43. Yeah.
Yeah, 43:10, 43:11.
Yeah. I think we're like half a second off. All right, close enough.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah.
People who are watching this.
So they're in. You know. Seth is fucking ecstatic. He's like, "Fuck yeah!" Basically, we're in Mexico. We did it. We made it. He's happy. He's basically like, "You're all cool in my book now, in a way. Like, smooth sailing now. The hard part's over. You just gotta wait the night." And he's now going to wake up Richie. He's like, "Oh man, you passed out. Must have been on blood lost, and you hit your head when you fell." And he's like, "You don't remember any of this stuff?" And his glasses are broken. And you're like,
"Yeah, he must have fell face first." Yeah.
He just tries to calm him down a little bit, get him. He's a little disoriented.
Richie looks like a 35-year-old 5-year-old in this movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he looks like a child that just never really grew up, but he did get taller and older, if that makes any sense.
It's his fucking melon head.
That's it, yeah. And his voice, man, I'm sorry, but that's the one thing, like, I'm not a huge fan of when it comes to Tarantino, is he has a very nasally, like, whiny voice.
This is my type of bar.
They're pulling up at the Titty Twister, and you see the flames shooting from, the top of it, like, just these, like, puffs of flame. Giant sign that says Titty Twister, nude dancing, Mexican food. Tons of motorcycles out there. If this place was a real place, it would be hopping because it's so awesome. And it even says on the sign, it says Titty Twister, open from dusk till dawn.
So especially if they don't show any vampires in the trailer, you think this is what they're talking about, this bar, like they got a lass from dusk till dawn hanging out in this bar, and this is Cheech number 2 and his epic pussy monologue.
This is, probably my favorite Cheech of the movie. And this is like the standard Cheech, honestly. Yeah, he does have long hair and he's balding, but he's got the sideburns and the mustache and stuff. And, like, this is the one that looks most like Cheech, in my opinion.
I don't think any of them really look like I mean, the first Cheech and the last Cheech kind of look like Cheech in real life, but none of them really look like Cheech from Up in Smoke, though, or the Cheech and Chong.
I think this looks more like the Cheech character. Probably just the mustache. It ties it together.
It doesn't look anything like the Cheech character because he looks like a dirty fucking, I don't know, scummy biker here in a way.
What do you think Cheech looks like? He's like a fucking skeevy stoner.
He just looks like a Scooby Stoner with a mustache. He doesn't look anything like that. He doesn't look scummy or slimy. He just
not slimy.
Looks like your average stoner.
He has got like the torn up tank top, and he's got the bell bottoms and stuff. The beanie hat sometimes.
This guy, no, he doesn't look anything like this guy though.
Look, I can have my opinion. I just believe.
I know I'm going to say your opinion's wrong.
Cheech,
your opinion sucks.
When I think of Cheech, if you showed me 3 pictures from this movie of Cheech, and said all 3 of these are different actors, but which one's Cheech, I would probably point at this one, other than the other 2. You know what I mean? Now, this does not look like the kind of place for kids. Do you agree?
No, it looks exactly the place where I want to bring kids. Show them what the real world looks like.
Hot carnita, chicas, caliente, girl, nude dancing.
It's
awesome.
It's hot meat chicks and extra hot.
Yeah. That's weird. Oh boy, yeah, I caught that. Now he just kind of breaks Cheech's hand and punches him in the face 3 times, and
yeah, he's like, "Hold it, asshole! You're not going in there." And then if you catch, there's a little sound there, as he knocks him down, as he almost wants to turn, but you don't know exactly. You don't know.
Yeah.
The average we know what's going on, so you notice it more. But it's just like one of those little
first time viewers might not catch
throw
it.
In there. Yeah, you might not notice it, but something's a little off with him.
Now, it's also cool. You look at the interior of the bar, and you see like all this old brick and stuff, and it does look like an old school building. But when we find out later in the movie of what this actually is, it actually does resemble that in this movie, like what it would look like.
It's an Aztec temple.
Yeah. Yep. Now you got some.
I mean, there's
tables.
a bunch of good-looking women in this movie.
Oh my God, yeah.
We'd be silly not to mention that.
I know. Well, I mean, we have to throw out a couple ratings. There's a chick on the bar. She's getting at least a B. There's like random fights going on.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's a cleaver.
Danny Trejo.
There's a giant meat cleaver. Yeah.
And Seth goes
young,
to Danny
young
and
skinny Danny Trejo. That girl is like the second hottest girl in that whole thing. I think they just showed before that.
She's gorgeous.
But I just had a little crush on that one.
Danny actually does a shot with him.
Yeah.
Well, or no, he pours a whiskey. He takes a shot himself.
Yeah, because they don't want him in here.
Yeah. Bikers and truckers only.
Yeah.
Now, a big burly guy comes up and grabs Seth on the shoulder, and we're going to see how much of a badass he is.
Yeah, because it's for bikers and truckers only and not them. So Harvey Keitel comes in to save the day, to proclaim that he has a Class 2 CDL, basically, to drive that RV. So, therefore, he is a trucker. So.
That's like the most Walter White explanation I've ever heard. You know what I mean? Like, this is a private domicile.
Yeah.
Shows him his wallet.
And then Danny Trejo's just like, "Welcome to the Titty Twister. How may I help you?"
Yep. Bottle of whiskey at 5 glasses because the kids are fucking drinking tonight.
Yeah. You serve food here? Best food in Mexico. I highly doubt it.
Yeah, seriously. Now we're getting a lot of tits, which is great. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that smile that Scott just had is the same smile that I have. Mm-hmm. It's impossible to grade them all, but they're all at least B's and up. You know, there ain't no like, what was the movie? Oh, there's no Frankenhooker, sloppy fried egg boobies. No. Yep. No, Titty Twister had standards.
That's some serious talent.
Yep. Oh, and the band is playing Tito and the Tarantulas.
Yeah.
And he's like just pouring alcohol down his throat while they're playing. You know, looks like a good time. Seth just kicked the guy out of his chair.
Yeah. Yeah. And then helped the girl off the table so they can hang. The guy was drunk. This is kind of that bar where you just take what you want, man.
We're here.
Well, you saw Tom Savini earlier, and then for a split second, now you really see him in his intro.
He just whipped
and
the
he's got his whip,
bottle.
and he's playing with his whip, and he grabs that beer bottle of the guys and pulls it away.
No, but you know who he grabs it from? That's Greg Nicotero. That's Greg Nicotero is Tom Savini's like protege, and he did all the Walking Dead stuff. Yeah, not Candy. But yeah, he's the guy who did all the zombie work on Walking Dead.
Okay.
And like everything else. He's massive.
I don't know everyone's names anymore. I don't pay attention. Gotcha.
But I'm saying like he's the new Tom Savini, if you will.
He's the protege. Gotcha. But it's great because he pulls the beer away and he pulls the knife on him, but then he leans back and he's got this gun cock thing. Yeah, like this cod piece goes away and this gun comes up and it has 2 revolving cylinders. Like on the side that looks like balls or whatever. It's not realistic. It wouldn't work in real life, but it's a throwback to Desperado because he had that in his case.
Yeah.
Like in the movie. Pretty sure it was Desperado. It might have been El Mariachi, but it was one of them.
Could you imagine having to actually use that in that kind of situation though, where it's like you're in a gunfight and you're like, freeze, motherfucker! Bang, bang, bang! I just knocked over my Edgar Allan Poe. That was that sound. Oh, hi, Muna. So, yeah, he's pouring shots for everyone at the table. Juliette Lewis is, she's keeping up with them.
Little Scotty had his first shot against the father's will.
Yep. And then Seth just explains to him, he's like, what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to finish this bottle, and I'm just going to keep drinking. Yeah.
And he's like, I got to break it over his head. But he's like, you told us to be cool, told all us. And he's like, and you're going to go and do that. And he's like, I never told you to do as I do as I said.
Yeah.
You know, and then he goes into, we get a little shot of Fred Williamson here.
Beautiful.
Homeboy that we're going to do our, she's pretty hot too. She's like number 3 on this for me.
Yeah, she's good looking.
Even though you don't see her naked,
cigar
but
with the Zippo.
She's a good looking woman though.
I got an issue with that. It takes much longer to light a cigar than what she just did with that Zippo.
Yeah.
She bent down
and if he's
and she went like this.
And if he's a true cigar aficionado, he would want a match.
You want a match because you don't want the butane or the lighter fluid. You want a clean burn. You want to burn off the match head, actually. You don't want any of the sulfur. And you want to slowly rotate
the wood.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to burn
I'm just
the
saying
wood.
if he was a cigar aficionado.
Yeah, this isn't a cigar podcast.
We are in just a biker bar, but I mean, you know.
Yeah.
But Harvey Keitel goes in pretty good and just kind of rips into him. He's like, are you some sort of loser? You don't realize you won? He's like, you're going to ruin everything by getting a fight with this dude. He's like, you won, man. Like, he's like, and he gets him. Ooh, excuse me. Seth gets offended at first. He doesn't realize it.
Do you see the sign in the background for Chango beer?
Okay, there it is, yeah.
Yep, that's the beer from Desperado. So those are your 2 tie-ins for the universe.
Yeah. I don't think it was Chango.
Oh, I got a commercial. Anyways.
I got an ad, yeah. I don't think it was Chango beer earlier. I'm not sure when you read the thing, but it's Chango beer here.
Yeah,
that other beer might have, I think it said Lone Star, I think.
Okay.
Which I don't know if it's an actual, they're in Texas. Yeah. Now they're in Mexico, so it's Chango beer. I can't hear it though. If that, oh no, I can a little bit, but it's not that loud.
No.
But here's the number 1 lady of the movie.
Oh wait, you're back in now?
Yeah.
See, I still got a second ad.
Oh, I didn't know you want more ads.
Yeah, and it's a third, dude. 2 30-second ads. This is too fucking much, man.
I've been getting one and knock on wood and back in. So.
Are you signed in?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be. Yeah. So we're both signed in.
They just don't like you.
That's probably it. There actually might be the bear might actually be outside, and that's why she's barking. That actually makes sense because the bear has been here recently. Like every night's been showing up, and Muna doesn't like to share her territory.
Mm-hmm. Well,
all right, I'm back in at 5428.
Yeah, see, mine keeps jumping me ahead, but I wasn't in very long. I'm at 5441.
Maybe you are supposed to be getting that ad. Instead, they skip the ad, but they also skip ahead the movie because you're always like 15 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so where are you? 5.2?
No, I'm at 5441.
Oh yeah, 5.4 what?
41.
41. All right, I'm 5.443. I just hit that little 15-second button. Give me 1 second.
All right, so Gray's going to go get eaten by a bear. I wish we had a camera for this right now to watch him get eaten, but it is what it is. But we are going to come to the best part of the lady part of the movie. And even you ladies would probably enjoy this part of the movie because Salma Hayek's one of the most beautiful women that there ever lived. And she's amazing in this. And the cool thing about this scene, too, is he gave her free roam to do whatever, Robert Rodriguez. The same thing he did with Jessica Alba in Sin City, and he just said dance to the beat. So this is all her, and it was pretty cool because she's got this albino python. We talked about it in part 1. She has a fear of snakes terribly, and he tricked her into the role of doing it, saying that Madonna was ready to step in and do the role, but obviously we know Madonna didn't take it because she's not in the movie. So Salma Hayek did 2 months of therapy in order to get in this movie and be able to do this part. And it's a pretty awesome dance. Obviously, we'll get into it a little more. Quentin definitely wrote the role for himself in this. It's totally written for him. Yeah, you good? I was telling the viewers how I wish I had a camera to watch you get eaten by the bear, but you came back and didn't get eaten, so.
Not even the same bear. Because the bear that we've been dealing with has been like maybe 100, 125 pound, like maybe 3-month old.
So he's a juvenile.
Well, not this one now.
No, I'm saying the one, you're dealing with a juvenile.
This one's like a fucking 500-pound massive bear.
Could be the mama bear.
Probably sitting on top of the dumpster, pulling out. Like, we have the dumpsters that slide open from the top. Dude, she fucking sat on the lid, broke it, and then just started taking bags of trash out of the dumpster.
You need a slingshot with some rocks.
I do have a slingshot. I have one of the wrist ones. I
have 2 of them with 2 wrist rockets.
I'm just not too accurate with it. I got guns, but I'm not going to go shoot off a Tech 9 right now. But, yeah.
That's a little different. You have to be in personal fear. Personal, you can't just shoot at the bear out your window.
Yeah.
Unless it was like breaking into the house, that'd be a totally different story. But bear's going through a garbage. Now, if you're walking from your car and you saw the bear in the dumpster and it's between you and your doorway, then I think you can get away with shooting the bear. But
yeah, without having a license or without it being in season.
Yeah, but I was saying if you can see the bear through a window, you could take the wrist rocket and some rocks and just kind of peg it in the head if you could, or the body, and chase it away.
I would actually hit the dumpster, because to get rid of the other bear, I would throw something at the dumpster and it would make that loud clang noise. And dude, the bear would jump. You know what I mean? Not expecting to hear that. But I guess they sent Mama Bear tonight. What are you gonna do?
No, but I'm saying you could wrist rocket. If it's getting pelted personally, it might actually stay away more than it just hears a noise.
Yeah.
But as long as there's food in there, it's going to keep coming back. So that's the problem, and you're putting yourself at risk.
If at night when I take out the trash, if that bear's ever out
or
there,
the dog,
or the dog,
or when you take the dog out in general. I
have Roman candles. I don't know how that would work, but
you might light the dumpster on fire, though.
Yeah, I'd literally have to shoot it in the air, because they shoot and then they go pop. It's not just like they shoot the ball and they. You'd
have to make sure you shot it off to the side of the trash can of the dumpster. Make sure not. Yeah, no, I'm saying if you shot it down at the bear, you can't shoot into the dumpster. You have to make sure you shoot off the side of it. Otherwise, you'd light the dumpster on fire probably.
Yeah. Well, if the big one comes, I'm not too worried about the little one. But if the mama or whatever keeps coming back, then yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I'm sorry, guys. I just had to. She was going nuts. I'm at 54-46.
All right. Ready and play.
Play. Now we have one of the best scenes of the movie.
Yeah, I went in and was talking about this too. How, we talked about in part 1 how she was fearful of snakes, and we got into that and how she ended up doing this anyway.
Improvised the dance. There was
the dance is all her, with the exception of I think the part where she puts her foot in Quentin's mouth. I was just starting to talk about that, where I think Quentin wrote that in there because he's got a foot fetish and is a weirdo.
Yes, absolutely.
And he's because he did the screenplay
and there's also a scene in the movie
there's
where
no
he
way
focuses on the feet. You know what I mean?
A couple times, like when you see him when he drops the towel, he stares at her feet, and he goes from toes all the way up, and then in the RV he's staring at her feet and stuff. So we think Quentin's got a little bit of foot fetish. Because I'm sure that's written in the screenplay. They wouldn't just put that in there without.
Yeah,
but I think it's all foreshadowing to the scene. Yeah.
Now she's doing her seductive little Britney Spears dance. The only reason I say that is because Britney Spears had also danced with an albino python. I think it was like maybe the Super Bowl or some kind of big event. Maybe with MTV. I don't know. But she had the big albino python. But Selma Hayek looks like she was meant for this moment. God created her to do this. You know what I mean?
He created her for this scene.
Exactly.
And the fight shit demons in Dogma.
Right. She, God. honestly, I'm not. Besides this and Dogma, I know she's been in a whole hell of a lot, but I don't know a lot of her movies. You know,
She was in Desperado.
Right.
With the main chick.
I got her confused a couple times with Penelope Cruz, because Penelope Cruz is in Blow with Johnny Depp,
Yeah.
and she also looks very good in that movie too.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't see the similarities, but if you just want to be like Peter Griffin and just be like some sort of Spanish or Italian type of, then I get it, but.
Some kind of olive-skinned.
Yeah, I forget the exact quote. We said something like
the girl
some
that was
sort of
some
Italian
kind of
or Spanish
or Italian. Yeah,
something. Yeah. So poor Fred Williamson keeps getting his little dominoes stack knocked over by beautiful women walking on his table. I mean, what a travesty.
What a fucking problem to have. Yeah. She walks right over to Richie, and she grabs the bottle of whiskey.
Steals her whiskey. Yep.
And pours it down her leg, and so it pours down his foot or her foot into his mouth. He totally wrote this in the fucking script. Like,
I find it pretty fucking gross. I mean, I don't like, feet don't bother me, but not gonna see me licking someone's fucking toes or anything. I think that's
especially
just wrong.
after walking over those tables.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
With these guys though, like people that have the foot fetish, the dirtier the better for them though, for some fucking weird reason. And then she like
now she also takes a swig of the whiskey and she just drips it into Richie's mouth.
If you notice,
like,
though, it almost looks like it comes out the side of her mouth, like it was a tube, and not necessarily like out of her mouth. Though, if you watch it, it's really weird.
I'm not sure.
And most of it sort of misses his mouth too. A little bit goes in. I think it's a little. I thought so at first too, that she fully spit it in there, but it doesn't look right to me. She just had his foot. Yeah.
She just had her foot in his mouth. I don't think they're really worried about, whiskey in her mouth to his. Yeah. I was just about to say, haven't you guys heard of COVID? Weird. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. It just looked weird. That's all I'm saying. It might have been.
Now, there's other girls who are still in their little perches, kind of dancing, like in the background. It's like, bitch, don't steal my spotlight. This is my song. You stand there still. I
actually didn't realize there was other girls still around there. I was always focused on her. You actually brought that to my attention. After all the many times I've seen this, I didn't realize the other girls were still dancing.
I've seen this scene so many times.
I'd be George Clooney now. I'd be like, yeah, that's a fucking show. That's what I'm talking about. Just clapping up a storm yelling at me.
Now everyone's cheering. Seth looks over at Richie, is like with a big smile on his face. And Cheech walks in. Selma Hayek looks at him. And shit's about to hit the fan.
Yeah. Cheech number 2 gets all his cronies.
Yup.
Big burly guy, Danny Trejo.
The three amigos. Broke my finger and my nose.
Yeah.
And then Richie kicked him in the ribs while he was down. Ooh, then So then Danny Trejo stabs him in the hand that already has the hole in it.
Yep.
Seth gets up. He shoots the big heavyset guy. Richie takes the knife out of his hand and goes right for Trejo, right in the heart. Just stab. Actually, multiple stabs, yeah.
And here's your number 2 of the movie. You'll notice there's actually green blood on the blade, and green blood splashes up on Quentin for a second when he's stabbing him. You're like, something is awry now. You can tell. Then she's starting to get the thirst,
the lust,
I guess you can call it.
The bloodlust, yeah.
The thirst. This vampire, and like staring at that bloody hand of Richie's. And the mess all over the table.
Yeah.
So then they shoot Cheech number 2, I don't know, about 7 times a piece.
15.
It's kind of like a thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a thing.
And now the knife,
they kind of showed a little more close up. Yeah.
The knife shows green blood directly on it. Now this is the part of the movie where people have probably, who've never seen this, have probably said, "Wait a minute, green.
What the hell is going on here?" Yeah.
And then
Selma, she turned into Cobra Commander for like a split second, and then like
a very small amount, yeah.
and then so Seth is out of bullets now, unfortunately, because they wasted them all, and Richie gets his neck bitten into. and is
That's
bleeding
the problem
all over
with
the place.
revolvers.
Yeah. Which you're like, part of you is kind of like, thank fucking God, I hate Richie. He's really annoying. Like you want him to die.
I wouldn't have killed him off first. Of the 5, I probably would have went for the son because he's the most annoying in my opinion. But then Richie, yeah.
No, I think Richie has to go. There's no other way to play this.
Oh, he does. No,
I'm saying like
go.
right here, he has to be first because you have to separate that link with Richie in reality. Like he has to lose it because Richie's dead right now. Otherwise, I don't think he makes it through this scene like he does. Like he has to have that super pissed offness. So now we get to see Sex Machine's gun at work. He's like, oh fuck.
How does it fire? Like it literally just popped up and just bang bang.
Yeah. And then you see like hot girl number 2 says dinner is served and her face looks like it turns into a pussy at first. Just like dinner is served. It like transforms.
So we said earlier that the CG in this movie, oh that's great, is used sparingly. Now, in between this vampire attack scene, you get shots of the band, and they're playing a big old bass guitar. Might be a regular, but it's made of a human body. Like, it's like a leg is the actual neck of the guitar, and the body and the head. It is, like, the coolest prop. And if I owned that prop, I would leave it on my fucking mantle. Like, that would be, like, my masterpiece. Now, obviously not everybody in here is vampires because all these bikers and truckers, they're the meal.
It's basically the staff. I mean, that's why they want it as bikers and truckers because they're people that can disappear without a trace for the most part, and they won't notice.
So basically, you have like the bouncers and you have the dancers and like bartenders, like all the people that are the staff there. Now, I don't know. Juliette Lewis had some very good thinking. She took the cross off of her necklace, or took the necklace off, put the cross in Cheech's mouth, and then he literally just like explodes.
He melts, and then his eyes explode and spray all over her. It's pretty amazing.
Yep.
So Fred Williamson now flips over a table and realizes what's going on and just body slams 4 dancers on each end of the table. One on each leg, so beautiful. Now Selma Hayek turned back to hot chick. And it's like, I would not want to fight her like this. I need you to look mean. I cannot... you look too fuckable right now. You know what I mean? Hit Seth with a punch. Oh, that's such an awesome guitar. Hit Seth with a punch. Flies across the room, but doesn't get knocked out. Savini doing his little stunt work, jumping from pool. You see there's a poor cut there when the girl jumps across to jump kick him. Like, it must have went wrong, and they had to do it again, but, like, they had to just splice the pieces together.
They liked the setup, but they didn't like the landing or whatever.
Yeah. So they had to do some editing there instead of just doing the whole shot all over again, because it was a long shot. You know what I mean? Like, so they just did the jump and the land, like the landing all over again.
Now
he's like, "What?
This is great." Danny Trejo is about to have a fight with Tom Savini, and if you're a horror fan, this is all you need to hear. Trejo takes off his vest, and you see the iconic tattoo on his chest. And Savini uses his whip, whips him.
Well, he throws in the pool stick, and he's like, "Huh?" He's like, "You just gave me a weapon?" Like what? And then so he takes advantage of him.
Yep, stakes him through the heart on the pool table, and he disintegrates. Now, Selma Hayek still looking hot as shit.
Yeah. And she goes on to this typical bad guy rant of talking too much. And she's like, I'm not going to kill you. She's like, I'm going to turn you, basically. And you're not good enough to feed off humans. You're going to be my slave. And you're going to feed off the blood of dogs. And you're going to lick my toes when I tell you. And she's like, I'm going to call you Spot. It's just funny. Rob's like, all right.
Do I get to fuck you? Because I'll do all that. But do I get to fuck you? You know what I mean?
And then you have the iconic line where he's like, no thanks, I already have a wife, and he shoots the chandelier down and kills her, which wasn't even supposed to be in the movie, but George Clooney improvised it, and the producers put it in the trailer, so he's like, oh, now I gotta keep it. He necessarily didn't want that in there. I guess he had something better, but we'll never know.
So
you don't have any outtakes.
We still have a couple vampires left, but the main ones are gone. Selma Hayek gone. Danny Trejo's gone. But right
Cheech
now,
is gone.
you got the big
Now the big
Cheech
guy's
is
left.
gone.
Yep.
You got the big burly guy, and Fred Williamson walks up on him and is like, "Hey, motherfucker, like, let's dance," like that kind of thing.
Yeah. He straight up Kanos his ass and rips his heart out of his chest.
And there's nothing
martial arts move.
There's nothing in this movie that says that Fred Williams is like a vampire hunter. Nothing that says he's like a karate master. He's just like a random guy who can rip people's hearts out.
Well,
like,
you get into his story later, like in the one monologue that he has.
Yeah.
So if you find out he's a Vietnam War vet that's a little fucking off-hinged, crazy, living out in Mexico. He's like the Black Rambo,
yep.
But like...
Yeah, he's Brambo. He's Brambo. Now, he's holding the heart, and they see that this big vampire is still, like, getting up. He's still fighting. Savini grabs a pencil, just puts it in the heart, and then the big guy drops. So basically, we know, destroy the heart. Now, somehow, my exes just came into this movie and stepped on screen. One of them looks horrible.
The big ugly ones?
Yeah, like... How was she ever a stripper in the first place?
Well, there's two of them there that you kind of question.
Well, yeah, there's two that you question, but there's one that's a fucking definite. You know what I mean?
All right, to each is their own, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. So,
but it's kind of funny because Fred Williamson takes the pencil and he fights her with a pencil.
It's like a little golf pencil, just bam, bam.
Well, it's a full size. It's a full size number 2, but yeah.
Still a pencil. It's like...
Yeah. As I said, it's a full-size standard number 2 pencil. It wasn't like a mini golf pencil, but it would have been funnier if it was.
Yeah, just like a little fucking... dee. Now, it's weird, because you had Tom Savini, Harvey Keitel, George Clooney, and Fred Williams all do this 4-on-4 battle, and they just killed the like, literally no problem killed the vampires.
Well, they were vampire dancer girls. They weren't like,
Yeah, they weren't like top vampire. Yeah. But the thing is, they've officially killed all of the main characters except the band. The band is still alive. But yeah, so no more Selma Hayek, no more Cheech, like they're all gone. Fuck you, everybody. Good night. Ah. So
I was wondering about this scene. I just got into commercial again, but
yeah, me too.
I was wondering about this scene is if they actually blew themselves up, or if there was like an explosion. And, like, yeah, they blew up, but they're not really dead. Did their hearts, like, do they revive elsewhere? They turn to bats? Like, what like,
was it like
even though you see the body parts,
like a ninja thing?
Yeah.
Was it like a ninja thing? Like, they threw it and like, ran off?
Yeah. Like, what the hell happened? It's just weird that the band would, like, explode themselves. That's what I always found weird about about that scene.
You know what? One thing that is weird? A lot of vampire movies originally...
Oh, I got Ad 2 this time.
See, yeah, I got one too. A lot of original vampire movies would have the vampires be able to turn into bats.
Yeah.
And it seemed like vampire movies got away from that, like, from the 90s on. I don't know why.
Not really, because you had some of the 90s movies in there, they were bats.
I hit pause. Well, yeah, like Bram Stoker's Dracula came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, that had the mythos from an older story. But I'm saying, like, new vampire-type movies, like Blade and stuff, they got away from that turning into a bat.
Yeah,
they kept the
Blade
holy water.
Yeah,
they kept
I'm
the
trying to remember
garlic.
if John Carpenter's vampires had them in the bats or not. I'm trying to remember if that one did. That was a really good movie, though.
We talked about... I haven't seen that, but you said, like, for
that was
a vampire movie, it's a must-watch.
Yeah, it's really good. And then there's I think it's Vampires 2. I don't know if it's John Carpenter's, but Bon Jovi's like the main character.
Wait, it's a sequel to that movie, but you don't know if John Carpenter...
Yeah, I don't remember if John Carpenter did it, but and Bon Jovi's the main good guy in it. And it's actually pretty good because the original main character was James Woods.
Right.
In Vampire. It actually had a pretty decent cast. I think Michael Madsen might have been in it. I don't remember the cast offhand, but it was a pretty decent cast. It was actually a good movie. I liked it. Pretty good story.
What year was it? Do you know? Around?
I can look it up real quick, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, because I'm not familiar with it.
They had a really cool like thing with it, where they would 98.
Okay. All right.
So they had this cool thing where they would have this crossbow and they would, shoot
Stakes.
the vampires and they would drag them out using a winch on a jeep. Like, it was just unique. It was a good idea. You know what I mean? You don't see that in other movies. Like, no one's used that before.
Is it something that'd be worth covering in a future episode?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, James Woods in it. Okay. Daniel Baldwin.
The worst Baldwin.
He's not like terrible yet at this time. Cheryl Lee. She looks like someone else. I wonder if she got her name changed. Is this who I think it is? I don't know.
I wonder why I don't remember like seeing trailers for that movie in '90. You know what I mean? Like it came out in a time.
A lower, if you look at it, it says Thomas Ian Griffin. If you saw his face, you'd know what I'm talking about.
I know. Yeah, I'm familiar with Thomas
Cary
Ian
Hiyoko
Griffin.
Tawaga. He's in it. The fucking dude from, the Asian guy from Nemesis. He also plays Shang Tsung, and he's in.
Yeah.
Big Trouble in Little Tokyo with Dolph Lundgren and Brand. Yeah, he's in like a million different movies.
Yeah.
He's in it. And there's other people. I can go.
Yeah.
Them,
we'll have to check it out sometime.
Well, I feel like a bunch of like Carpenter's movies got kind of left in the dust a little bit, especially like Ghost of Mars came out in 2001. That's another one that I thought was really good, it had Ice Cube in it though.
Yeah.
So people like kind of hated it, even though it was a good movie. It had Natasha Henstridge. Was in it.
I've never seen that
Species.
movie, but I remember it existed. I did not know about vampires. You know what I mean? Like, I don't remember any trailers. I don't remember.
Yeah, it had some trailers. It's some pretty. A lot of his movies got shoved to the side. It was just weird. I don't know. They didn't get as many. Maybe because I was such a blockbuster rat. You know what I mean? And I was so into like John Carpenter's movies, especially like even though some of his movies, weren't as good, but I liked them still. Because he had Escape from L.A. A lot of people hated that, but I enjoyed it. Because they wanted more of Escape from New York.
For what it is, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. Yeah, it's not Escape from New York. Escape from New York is obviously the better movie, but Escape of L.A. was definitely the 1990s in a nutshell. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was cool.
Yeah. I think as a standalone movie, it's fine, but just don't compare it to the first. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about vampires because I'm interested in that time period of horror movies because that is when I first started falling in love with horror movies. From
I'm surprised you missed
catching
that
up
one,
on
honestly.
the classics and like, dude, from the age of 8 to 12, I started watching all of the original Friday the 13th and Halloween's and Nightmare. But I was also watching the new horror movies as they came out. So I saw the Screams, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, The Faculty. And that's why I'm trying to think, like, how did I not see vampires, That was right in my,
Yeah, like I said, at one point in time, so I had Netflix coming in. I had something like 4 or 6 at a time for Netflix DVDs. Because I know some people listening to this didn't realize... Netflix is a streaming service, but Netflix originally was CDs in the mail, and technically you can still get them, or DVDs in the mail. It's not really CDs, but yeah. So you'd get DVDs in the mail. As soon as you watch it, you put it back in the mail. You keep it as long as you want, and when you put it back in the mail and you send it in, they'll send you the new one on your list. So you'd make this big queue, and they would just send them. So I'd have like 6 at a time. It was like maybe like $15 a month or something like that. So I'd get 6 movies, and that. It's cheaper than renting them.
You can keep it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. You keep it say you keep them for 2 weeks.
But then Blockbuster
you send them back, you get 6
Blockbuster
more.
also got into the movie thing too. So now I changed my plan a couple times, so I was getting 4 at a time from Blockbuster. So now I have 10 movies at a time, and I would go through 10 movies, and I did not have software to copy these movies, I swear. And
right.
onto hard drives or anything from my computer. I did not do anything like that. That was not a thing. People did. But Every 2 days, I'm getting a new shipment of DVDs in the mail, and I'm just watching movies like crazy. That's why I can't remember half the stuff I watched. I mean, I'm going through. You figure
basically,
I'm going through like 30 movies a week, roughly. In my brain, I didn't have cable, so
it's like your Amazon your downward spiral on Amazon. Except they're physical copies, and you have to watch them because you have them.
Yeah,
and that's how you end up watching all.
Yeah,
this
I didn't
shit,
have cable at the time, So and Blockbuster was cool because, like I said, I was getting 4 at a time at one point in time. But then I dropped it down to 2. But instead of sending them in the mail, I can bring them to Blockbuster, and then while I'm waiting for my next movie to come in the mail, you'd get a free rental because you returned it to Blockbuster, and they feel like if you're going to get one rental, you're going to get other ones, so that's where they draw you in, or you're going to buy candy, popcorn, whatever, like, because they were big on, they made their money on the food and other stuff there.
Oh my
God!
But
since I had so many things coming in the mail, I just wanted that free rental, so they weren't getting anything extra out of me. They just got
you were basically just going there and getting a free rental until your other ones came in the
mail.
And
the Blockbuster is literally 1.5 miles from my house, so I can drive there within a couple minutes. There's no traffic going there. It's literally one turn, technically 2, but you know what I mean. It's
you're right there.
Yeah,
you're right there.
It's so easy. It's like 1.5 miles from me, so I had a nice little racket for some time. All right, so I am at 109.12.
Okay, I'm at 109.9. I'm going to hit play.
All right.
And play. So, now that the chaos is over, Seth goes over to his brother's body. He removes a table and a chair, and Richie's there. Obviously, blood's everywhere. His blood is red, so they didn't, obviously... Yes, the vampire's blood was green because of the rating and stuff.
But he was a human, so it would have been too much blood, I think. It would have been too much blood. You're only allowed so much blood before they get shitty on the rating system, basically.
And I don't think it's like that anymore, honestly. Like,
you get a little more leeway. I'm sure it's a little issues here and there, but... So here's Quentin Tarantino's normal head. I don't think there's any makeup here whatsoever. This is what he normally looks like. I think they CG'd his face from when he was a child earlier, and this is
Yeah, it was the face swap. Mm-hmm. Now he actually looks like another person from another movie, and I'm racking my brain. But do you know what I'm talking about? Another character that looks like that dude? Because if I can't think of it now, I will go crazy.
Yeah, the dude from Mask, like that kid with the fucked up face and orange hair.
Oh, no, not Rocky Dennis. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
No, the Mask.
Oh, no.
The Mask.
He looks like Rocky Dennis.
Rocky Dennis. No,
except
Jim
as a
Carrey.
vampire.
At the end of the movie The Mask with Jim Carrey, the bad guy gets the mask, and that's what the bad guy's head looks like. That weird,
No, I don't think he looks like anyone. He just looks like himself. Seriously, I'm not even. If you put a side-by-side picture of him now and there, he pretty much kind of looks like that now.
I'm gonna create that. So when we post this, I'm gonna have a picture side by side, and I'm gonna say which is the real Quentin. Wrong, they're both the real Quentin.
Which one has CG? Not the monster ones.
Right.
But
so they actually.
Well, that was
Seth just had to put the stake through his brother's heart.
But they had to talk him into it sort of at first. He was getting mad. He's like, no one's going to kill him but me, basically,
Yeah.
Yeah. But now they have to kill everyone before everyone else turns, all the people that the vampires killed. Now, me, I would have known this already because, we watched so many movies.
Of course.
Actually, the problem is we watch so many movies, we're either going to die first or we're gonna survive because the shit that we try from movies is not going to work, and then we're going to end up getting killed.
No, you know how we're going to get. No, you know how we're going to get killed. We're going to argue semantics, and while we're arguing semantics, we're going to die. It's like, dude, listen, Blade 3, fucking Holy Water. You're like, no, Night of the Devil, Part 2, Garlic, and while we're arguing,
it's gonna be like The Mist. Gray's going to have his faction, and I'm going to have mine. And we're going to argue who we're going to sacrifice. He's like, we don't need to sacrifice anyone. And I'm going to be like, yes, we do. You know.
No. The person's gonna be like, guys, you guys don't have to sacrifice anyone. It's like, we want to. Like, get him. You're getting sacrificed. Get the fuck out.
Since you're the one that said it, you're the one getting sacrificed.
Yeah, and that brings our tribes together, like the unity of
sort of until we break apart again.
So here's the bats, obviously.
Yeah. We were talking about that for a reason.
Twister. Yep.
Yeah. Now this brings back the vampires turning into bats again, and bats getting in. Yeah, they're trying to fortify their defenses now.
Yep.
Sleaze tequila.
I think all tequila.
I don't know if they're meant to go together, but I think it just says sleaze, which is kind of funny.
I think all
I wonder if you could find a Cerveza
tequila.
Chango sign. I know you would buy one of those if you had the money.
Oh, well, yeah, that one specifically, that yellow one with the red.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cerveza Chango, yeah. I bet if we looked that up on eBay, there's probably one now.
Oh, there's got to be.
Yeah.
Now, this random guy just crawled up to Juliette Lewis, and he's obviously missing his legs or leg. And she was like dragging him. He's trying to bite her.
Well, he's missing his legs, and it probably is in real life too. It's probably like a disabled actor.
They got the actor who had the
yeah.
But Savini comes and saves the day, puts a stake through the heart. But now we see the truckers are all reanimating, and they should have realized this after Richie, because he was the first one to get bit, and so he was the first one to turn. But now all these other ones are turning, and it's like, you know what you got to do, so you might as well just start fucking doing it. Don't let them turn. Get it before, it happens. Now, see? He lights a cigar with the match. He knew.
Usually he's supposed to use wooden matches, and he's using the regular match. But I guess it's better than... Yeah.
Any match is better than a standard lighter.
This must be high content alcohol in that beer, because he's about to pour beer on the flames. When he was walking over there, it must be some super fucking moonshine beer.
So right now, Juliette Lewis was told they got to start killing the truckers, and she is hesitating. There's a guy on the ground, and she's like trying to aim it up, and she's like thinking about it. So she's still struggling with her character arc. She's still this innocent, teenage girl, and she's looking around for help. Can't do it. This guy is laying on the ground. He finally turns. As soon as his eyes open, she starts going at it. So it's like when push comes to shove, she's good. Savini looks at her.
She's a white supremacist because she used the OK signal.
Yep.
I'm okay.
And while Savini was looking over at her, another guy actually got up and looks like bit him in the arm.
Yeah.
So of course he's going to be the asshole of the group.
That's what he gets for fucking. That's what he gets for not paying attention and caring about other people. He should have been worried about his kill. Yeah, they put the arms and the plug holes. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Like, if you look at some of the architecture of the stage there, like these snake heads that are calling out on the stage, it's really awesome. Like, they really did a good job of the set of this building and this bar.
Like, I know it might sound like a little hokey, but like if I ever won the Powerball, I would want to own a building like this.
Our minds. I'm saying if we can get like super famous with this, should we build this bar and host our podcast from this bar?
Do the podcast, do the live episodes, the live streams. We could have bands come in, because we could do a bar and restaurant. Obviously, I know what I'm doing there.
Do you?
But this bar, yeah. But this bar in particular, with the brick and the Aztec ruin, oh my god, I would. And then I would build an apartment upstairs so I never have to fucking leave, because literally it's that cool.
We'd have to change the name a little bit, so it'd be like this: the Super Titty Twister. We don't want any copyright infringements.
The GrindHaus Twister. Frank Williams looked pretty yoked in this movie.
It was funny. Like he's. I always remembered him being bigger than this. Like he's not as big as I remembered him being, because he was a cornerback. You would expect him being like a linebacker or something, because he played for the Raiders and other NFL teams, but he was a cornerback.
That's weird.
I guess, I wouldn't
picture
him as a cornerback either. I always thought he was like a linebacker, maybe like a defensive end or something. But I always envisioned him being bigger. but he's actually not as big as I think he is. I guess it's just being older and watching it. Like, you realize, like,
yeah,
he's maybe like 200 pounds there. He's not as big as, you know what I mean?
No, but he does have broad shoulders.
Yeah,
so
yeah. And he's got a big head.
Stance
yeah,
about him.
yeah. But he's just got this manly stance. But Tom Savini is kind of small too, though, so it makes him a little bit bigger.
Yeah, he's like 5'8", I think.
The only one that's even remotely pretty decent size in the movie is George Clooney. Even Harvey Keitel is kind of shorter. I think he's like 5'9" or 5'10", I think. You know what I mean? He's not of a larger stature.
And Clooney would be Batman the following year after this movie. So, or maybe it was 2 years. But yeah, he did have to bulk up a little bit. So
like,
yeah,
Quentin's tall, but he's skinny, though. You know what I mean? So he doesn't
he's lanky.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like goofy tall. Yeah.
Like,
Finally, Harvey Keitel.
Clooney's built for his size.
Yeah.
Harvey Keitel's a lot more muscular than you realize, too, though. But he's just that stocky. Not that he's fat, but he's just that. You know, he's like a.
But the way they dressed him in this movie, he looks very average.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't give him.
He's a very, very rugged, tough old man. You know, but he's not fat. But you can definitely see he's got like a little size to him. Like when he punches him, you see his forearms clenching. Like he's got these fucking forearms on him. I think like the way they angle the shoot in the hat, like he makes him look taller and bigger than he is right here.
Yeah. Now, the conversation they're having right now, it kind of goes back to the type of dialogue from the beginning of the movie. See, we just had this last like 20, 25 minutes of just craziness.
Yeah.
And you're having fun and it's fighting and it's action, but then the movie, it has to calm down for
it's
a
like
minute.
It's like the calm before the storm. Like we're in the eye of this. Like the storm hit, and we are now in the eye of the storm. But we're in a hurricane right now, so we're in the eye.
Yeah.
Everything's calm for X amount of time, depending on how big the eye is going to be.
But we still have to go.
And then
through
you have
the
to go
rest
through
of
the other end of the hurricane. So like this movie, the end of it is basically like going through a hurricane. I think that's a really good analogy for this movie.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
The first half of the movie is approaching the hurricane.
Is approaching the storm.
So, like, you know something's happening. You know the storm's here, and you're getting there. Then the vampires come out. You're in the hurricane. Right now, you're in the eye, but you know it's not just going to end. You know it's going to get crazy.
There is a word for this, but I don't remember what it is.
What do you mean?
There's a word for like this part of the movie, like a movie that does something like this. There's an actual like terminology.
Well, it's usually the beginning it's the end of the second act or beginning of the third act.
No. For something like when it goes crazy and then like there's a calming spot and then it goes crazy again. There's a terminology that's been used for, I don't know. But here we learn about Fred Williamson. He goes into his crazy Vietnam story, and it kind of. You see the other characters kind of like at the end of the story. He's like in the back. He's like, "Oh, I was stabbing him." Like, you know, like he goes, like, he killed like, 30 men or whatever. But they're just like talking and they slowly walk away and he's in the back. It's just kind of funny, because he's like in his own little world. He realized like he's a little loose, like he's that crazy Vietnam vet. That's why he's in Mexico.
Yeah, but he needs to be a little loose because of the shit that he's able to do. Like, no normal person's going to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Tom Savini's sitting there worrying about what's going on and starts getting a little... hears voices, and eventually I think one tooth grows, and he's like, what? What's going on here?
Actually, the reaction of that is incredible. I'm waiting for it, because
it's like he's hearing the bats. It's like he hears the bats outside talking.
Yeah. And right now, Williamson's giving his monologue, and everybody is like just looking at him tell the story, and Savini is just like,
what the fuck? Yeah, and he's in his own little world.
Yep. Now he feels the fang that just came in, and he goes, huh? Oh. And then his hand changes. Oh yeah, this is so good, dude. But there is CG.
Yeah, but it's pretty good there.
It's not terrible. Yeah.
But he's weird. He like turns into this weird rat monster. It's not even like a vampire.
I don't
like. took out the entire VC squad single-handed.
Oh boy, yeah.
So you see like the little hands of Savini come up and.
Hold on. I want to see if I can. No, you don't have to pause it. Hold on.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like you see the hands come up on his shoulders and bite Fred. It's like, how did he get from? He was behind
halfway across the room,
and then now he's across the other side of the room behind them. So now he's like a normal. Yep. He's like a normal vampire with like a fucked up face here, but he's an extra tough vampire because he's Tom Savini. He knows how to fight.
He was a badass before becoming a vampire. Yeah. Now Fred Williamson pretty much just throws out the challenge.
You fucking bit me.
Ooh. This is probably my favorite fight of the movie. Or the scene with all the characters.
Yeah, this is pretty dumb. Because Fred now threw him through a window and let all the fucking bats in. But he was bit. He turned very quick. Yeah, I think that's why he threw him through. That they make sense. Like, yeah, why he did it.
So now, the bats are all pouring in this club. Fred points them out, and they get to a back door, and there's like this cave, like a labyrinth cave system. One of the heads come in while he's trying to close the door, shoots it, closes the door, and they put the lock on. Now we see Juliette Lewis, we see Scott, the son, and we see George Clooney, and there's an advertisement.
Yeah. So basically, we see them go into this little tunnel back area. It's kind of like the temple part. It's like storerooms and those stuff like in the back. It's.
Oh, you know what? There's only one
would
ad.
you call it like a... I'm still on an ad. It's got 10 seconds left.
I hit pause.
Yeah. Would you call it like a labyrinth yet? Or is it just like kind of a hallway with a storeroom and that? Like,
well, I think
like the beginning of a labyrinth
I said the term maze-like or labyrinth-like. But yeah, it's definitely... It doesn't look like the bar. It's definitely a room that kind of
it's like rock and dirt and stuff with like torches and, it's like that.
Yep.
All right, so I'm 124.20.
Okay, I'm at 124.18. Was the word you were thinking about earlier a lull?
No, because that's like, it'd be like lull in the storm, but it might just be like
in the movie.
No. It might there's like a specific term. It might be just like an old term that's not used anymore, and I might have just heard it, like people like from like an old movie or
so
something.
It's more
you know
movie
what I mean?
Terminology, but not storm terminology. It's
no. It's an actual movie terminology. Yeah.
That's I'm trying to because I know quite a bit for the
because lull would be like. Just a down of any calming, it could be storms, there's a lull in movies technically, but no, there was like some sort of particular terminology from
I'm sure
talking
we'll
to other, I'm going to have to look it up, figure if it's
I'm at 124.18, so if I hit play, just give me a second or two and get caught up, and I hit play now, and 20. So as I was saying, Seth and the kids make it to a back room. Harvey Keitel's hiding under the bar, and he's been bit. Or scratched. I didn't quite see it. But he does have a wound on his arm.
Yeah.
He picks up a bat.
I think he gets bit at one point in time. In there. I'm not sure.
He picks up it looks like a little aluminum, like a softball bat.
Yeah.
And they actually have...
it could be like just a regular bat. It doesn't have to be a softball bat, but... But it does. It
just looks
it could be wooden though, because there's a chunk out of the end there.
Yeah.
So.
And he actually finds the pump shotgun
it is wooden.
that has this weird handle, and he comes out from the bar and he sees all the bats have now turned into full-blown like monster vampires. He's holding a cross to them. They're staying away, but he's also cocking the shotgun back with the baseball bat.
Now,
So this
the special
must
effects
mean-
company did an excellent job with all these. Granted, a lot of them are similar, but they did full body suits on these people.
Yeah, I actually.
You know what I mean? Like, they did a really fucking cool job with this.
If you look at a specific point, you can see one of them is wearing a suit. You can kind of see the stretch in the latex, kind of. But they look wonderful.
It's not bad though. The stretch in the latex.
No.
It's just like it could be vampire skin. It doesn't necessarily look like
exactly. It could be explained away
yeah,
100%. Now, I'm guessing that Harvey, like he said, he never lost his faith. He never stopped believing in God. He was just in a bad spot. And I think between him being a man of God and having the cross, that protected him from that horde of vampires. Yeah. Now, he told his daughter, "I'm already dead." So he got bit. Now, he just said that Richie turned over a span of an hour, maybe. But Fred Williamson turned in a matter of, seconds after being... So,
there's some sort of continuity issues, maybe. Maybe, Fred being as not mentally stable as he was turned easier. You know what I mean? It did,
Yeah.
Because Savini turned pretty quick, but it could have been a little longer. Richie, in the movie, it seemed like minutes, but he turned, I guess, in movie time, it was definitely an hour of them fighting.
Yeah, the battle could have lasted an hour very easily.
Yeah. So he's like, we can do what we can. Now, we realize they've been robbing the trucks from the truckers and stuff, so they have all sorts of booze and toys and whatever's on the truck, just all random shit. So they got these super soakers. They have a jackhammer that he turns into putting, a stake on the end of it, so it's like a powered jackhammer now. She finds a crossbow.
It's funny.
They have condoms that they use as holy water balloons, but the condoms, I guess they're cheap because they break pretty easily.
Yeah, no, because I've filled condoms with water before. They don't break. It's funny because I thought to myself, well, this is a bar with food. That means they must have delivery trucks coming in. Could you imagine a Cisco truck pulling up? Hey, where do you want the 60 pigs? You know what I mean? But yeah, they probably just were robbing whatever trucks they could, and that's how they get their booze and stuff. So they have a crossbow. They have a gun that they actually carve crosses into the lead. And that's a pretty cool... I never thought of that. In a vampire movie, just get your bullets.
They've done it before in other movies, but yeah.
Yeah, I've never thought to do that, you know what I mean? So we have a super soaker filled with holy water. We got the jackhammer.
I actually
with the
don't know if
it.
that crossbow is real or not. I don't think there's a such thing as a repeating crossbow like that. Now there is now, but then
in history, I forget the name of it, but there was the crossbow that was a crank. And the bows would drop into the sling, and it would constantly shoot them off. Did you ever see that?
Maybe, but that crank would actually pull it back and lock it and release it. But I'm talking just from a pump. This is a pump crossbow.
No, the crank would pull the string back, and then it would release
Yeah, so I just said.
But then another bow would drop.
Another arrow. Or another bolt.
Arrow. Yeah,
another
sorry.
bolt would drop.
Yeah.
Bolt. No, I know that's sort of a thing, but it didn't really work. It wasn't really. I'm talking an actual.
There was a lot of jams.
There's no pumping. It doesn't really work that way. I don't think this. I think it's a movie thing here. But there is a guy, George Sprav. There's a video where he made a thing for a crossbow that'll load bolts, and you can kind of cock it, and it. But this is now technology. This didn't exist in 1996.
But it's like a gravity load.
Yeah, there's force though. There's rubber
top.
bands and a pusher, so when it shoots, it pushes down a lot, and it has to specifically lock because when you charge the handle back, actually I think it's a lever. I think it pulls out almost like a BB gun. The lever comes out, you pump.
Yeah.
I think it's a whole lever that comes out and then pushes back in because it's the leverage. You know what I mean?
Hold on. They open the door. There's immediately vampires as soon as they open the door. They were right at the door. Do you see the one in the back of the group of vampires. You see the
the
massive
ears?
one with the hair.
Oh yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
That's awesome.
Where'd
It's funny.
that one come?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, where'd that one come from?
It's got like
Jesus
little like
Christ.
buns, like little like
Yeah.
horns of hair. Yeah.
It looked like it came from like where the wild things
Yeah.
are. Like, it's just like
That's what I'm
this
saying.
other
Like,
monster.
yes, they're similar, but there's a lot of differences. It's not like they copied and pasted the same vampire. You know what I mean? Like the same vampires over and over again. There's a lot of little
Right.
differences, a lot of like
There's-
work put into these. You know, there's a good 20 or
Yeah.
30 different. You know, they may be similar, but they're different.
But they show
Yeah.
off the differences so you can tell that they're different. And basically right now you have George Clooney and the family versus what is essentially the Real Housewives of Orange County.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Just these haggard looking fucking long-haired, leathery skinned bitches. Juliette Lewis, she's a badass now. Officially, she's a badass. She has the crossbow. Fucking, she's going at it. George Clooney has this spike.
His weapon is cool in theory, but would not work in real life. It's so
He has the weakest of the weapons, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It looks cool, but like even Scott with the super soaker,
it's
dude, when
holy
he
water.
hits them,
Yeah.
yeah, they light on fire. Juliette Lewis is a badass with this crossbow.
Well, she shoot him in
and
the
of
head,
course-
which is weird, and not the heart. So that's why I have a problem with that.
Yeah. And obviously, Keitel still has his
Yeah.
shotgun.
But
Oh,
I
here comes
guess maybe
Savini
they're
again.
blessed weapons or whatever. Like, because
That
I guess that's
that
the
is true.
loophole. Like with the cross and the holy water is making them melt and explode. And George Clooney stole Sex Machine's whip and now using it against them.
Yep. And then
Rips
even,
his
like
head
we
off.
said earlier, the bullets had the cross in it, so even a random shot would still do okay. Now, of course,
See that?
Tom Savini
Yeah.
had to had the disembodied head that came alive again.
But this,
'cause it's
yeah,
Tom
but
Savini.
they don't do his heart though. This is what I have a problem with it. Now he turns into like this dog
The rat
rat
thing.
monster. He's like a
It's
were rat.
It's the Sumerian rat monkey
Yeah.
from Dead Alive.
Yeah,
Basically, yeah.
a giant version of it. He's a vampire were rat. It's like hard to explain, but it's badass. It really is. Like it looks
so
awesome.
good.
The transformation is actually really good.
Was
with
good.
It. You know, it's really good, and he's
Yep.
actually fighting an animatronic here too. It's not like CG. You know, it's really fucking cool done.
And
Really
this
well.
is the difference when you see Leonardo DiCaprio fighting a bear in The Revenant. I don't care how realistic they say that bear looks, you can tell it's CG. And yes, CG has come a long way, but nothing will ever beat something that is actually on film.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a cool scene. It definitely looks good, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh my god, yeah.
Now he exploded because a couple arrows put in him, and he got thrown across the room.
Yep.
And
Now, Harvey Keitel is fighting against Fred Williams' son. He puts the gun in him. It goes through his stomach.
Yep.
And he is shooting zombies. Or zombies. I'm sorry. He's
Well,
shooting
let's be
vampires.
technical. They are from beyond the grave, so vampires are almost like a
They
side
are.
shoot of zombies in a way, if you want to be
Yes,
technical.
technically.
So, you know.
But every time he's pumping the shotgun, he's using Fred Williamson's torso to pump it. He's literally just like pushing it and shoot. Oh, God, it was so good.
They're out of water. They realize he's been bit and he's sort of one of them, and they don't go after him. So Harvey finally turns. You see his ears a little up. You can kind of tell previously.
He looks like the most normal of the vampires so far. Like, you know, I mean,
But he
as normal
also,
as one
yeah,
can
but he
be.
looks also like got one of the cooler, meaner faces in the movie too, though. It's weird.
Yes,
It's like,
yes.
It's pretty badass. And then he bites his son's neck and basically murders his son.
Yep. Thank
But his
God.
son gets him with a.
That's-
Yeah, I mean, he had to go. He's annoying. He's like,
That was a good practical effect. How half
like-
his head is melted and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. It's half practical with a little bit of CGI there, though. At first.
Yeah, small amount. Small amount.
But it's like finished off. You know what I mean? Like.
Yep.
So now he's going to get gangbanged by vampires and eaten alive.
There, yep. And pretty much, you know for a fact that at least Clooney or Juliette Lewis or both are going to survive, because there's no coming back when you have like 4 or 5 vampires chomping on you. He's begging for death. He's begging for it. And Juliette Lewis is just letting him suffer. But then she closes one eye.
She's having a hard time morally. But it's kind of hilarious how he explodes after she shoots him. It's like...
Yeah. I don't get that. Was it because he was in the middle of turning, or...
I don't know. Maybe it was like all the water... like holy water condoms on them, but I don't know. Maybe it's to cross bullets. Maybe it's a combination of that. Maybe it's just movie magic where you can't explain it. They just make it explode no matter what. Yeah,
don't look too far into it, type of deal. So
now sun's coming up.
We see that they're surrounded by the vampires, Seth and Juliette Lewis, and they see beams of light coming from outside, which means it should be daylight. And you see the vampires actually crawling underneath the beams. And
I don't think they realized that at first that the light was a thing until it started to burn them. So now she's shooting holes in the walls.
Yep.
To get more light. But there is a disco ball up above them, which
obviously you gotta utilize that.
Mm-hmm. That'd be like the first thing I thought of. They were coming in.
This is going to last for so long, though. This is shot very well because it's hard to capture actual light on film, like actual beams of light. So they have just enough smoke in this bar so you can see the beams of light, but not enough that it makes the place look foggy. That's very hard to do. So now they're saved
Cheech number 3.
Looks like the cartel. Yep, the story of 3 Cheeches. He does have a mustache. I forgot. As the doors open, the sunlight hits the disco ball.
See, you give him different clothes. Awesome... You give him different clothes and a beanie hat. There's your Cheech Marin that you know from back in the day.
I forgot that he had a mustache here. This is the Cheech that I know of. God, all those vampires just exploded. Fire everywhere and sparks.
The disco ball. This is great.
Oof. Now, Seth said, why out of all the godforsaken shitholes did we have to meet here? He said, this place is just as good as another.
Has it ever been here before? No. I drove by it a couple times. Seems like a cool place to go.
Yeah. Open from dusk till dawn. Hey,
you want to meet in the morning?
Movie. My job here is done.
What are they, a bunch of freaks or something? Psychos?
Are they psychos? Now, Juliette Lewis is in the background, just standing there like, she went through some shit, And you're thinking to yourself, Seth is now saved. He's in Mexico. He met his connection. So it's like, what's going to happen,
They're negotiating now.
Yep, 15%, 25, 20. They settle on 20%. And then he sends, what's her name in the movie? Kate?
Yeah.
Sends Kate, I keep calling her Juliet, but sends Kate to the RV to pick up the suitcase.
The Fuller family.
Fuller, yep. Fuller, shit. The exterior of the bar.
You can sell a lot of bikes out there. I mean, they got some good money left over there. I mean, all those vampires are dead. If you can get a truck in there, clean the place up,
There's got to be a few fucking panheads in there, and those panheads.
There's a sidecar. There's a bike with a sidecar there.
Oh, I get an advertisement.
Do we really need one more advertisement? Like the movie's got like 5 minutes left.
It's one of one, and so it's only 30
Yeah.
seconds, but still.
I know, but it's the same commercial about Tampax and
Oh, you got the Tampax one?
every
I got
time,
Dodge
every single
Charger.
one almost. It's the
I got the
Tampax
Dodge
commercial
one. It's
with
like,
fucking horrible comedian. Fucking what's her face? The blonde fathead fucking Gisette.
Okay. Hold on. I gotta hit pause because you might be ahead of me.
Yeah, I'm at 140, 24, 25.
Hold on. God damn it. Yeah, I'm at 140.10. But you actually have to come back if you can. Because there's not much time in the movie and you don't want to miss.
I could do 140. Yeah, 140.10 right now.
Yep. And play on 1, 2, 3.
They're just
So
counting
they
money
open
and
up
going
the-
over. He's
Yeah,
getting-
they open up the briefcase. You see the money from the heist or the job or whatever.
I was only
George
15
is-
seconds ahead of this. It wasn't that much further.
I didn't know if there was anything in particular
No.
that was gonna happen.
No, they're
between-
just talking money. He hands Kate some money, but that. Yeah, they get him. He's got like a Porsche now, I think.
Which one?
Yeah.
The red one?
Yeah, I think, well, they don't show it yet, but I'm just out of memory. I think it's a Porsche. He gives her, I don't know, maybe 80 grand, 100 grand. I don't know. He's like, I'm sorry about your
Well,
family.
wait,
She wants to go with him.
A stack like this of 100s is probably gonna be around. Hold on. Probably about 25 to 30. Oh, okay. It was like 2 stacks. All right, so you gave her about like
No,
50,
there's more
60
than
grand.
that. Yeah. There was a couple stacks there. I think they're $20,000 bundles, something like that. Yeah, and then some extra.
Now she asked him if he needed some company, and now he takes off his jacket for the first
Yeah,
time, and
see
you
more
see
of the- yeah, more of
big
the
tribal tattoo going down his arm and stuff.
Well, you see
Yeah,
it
Chi-Chi's
on his
telling him we
wrist.
gotta
You see it
go.
on his wrist earlier. You see it come out of his neck there, and then you see like the whole thing.
Yep. Yeah, that is a Porsche, like a 928 maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a 911 Carrera. It is. It's a 911,
Yeah.
one of those Targa
Yeah.
or Targa ones, whatever. But still, it's a sweet fucking car. But yeah, he leaves her at the bar. He drives off in his car, and it's like, what's she supposed to do? Get in the RV
Yeah.
and drive?
I don't know.
No, I'd be looking for a car, man.
I know,
Fuck, I'm not gonna
car.
drive that
I'm gonna
big-ass
drive that-
boat.
But then again, she could sleep in it. I don't know. But I feel like those
Yeah,
vampires
that-
would be trying to track her ass down, though. Maybe you'd want the RV, a little more cover, but then you don't have a lot of cover in that thing. I don't know. But she gets in the RV and leaves.
Yeah.
But here's a cool shot. They
But
pan
as she-
down. You see all the trucks kind of like broken down, maybe on the side, and you come down. You see how it's like this whole big.
As
Labyrinth.
she pulls out in the RV, the camera pans out, and you see that this bar is the top of the Aztec
Mm-hmm.
temple with all the stairs, and you see this crater just filled with
Yeah.
all these old cars,
Trucks and
trailers.
trailers, and yeah, it's just crazy.
And then we get our credits. I would say that actually was a miniature. I don't know.
I think it's a
if that
painting.
was actually CG. You think
I think
it's
it's a painting.
I think it might have been a miniature that they built and they actually just superimposed.
I
the
think
top.
no. I think that's a painting. All that. If you go back, it looks like a painting, but maybe it's like the actual bar from like a crane shot, and then they just CG'd a painting. Oh, that looks like an oil painting.
Hold on, I'm letting it pan out a little more.
See, I think this is all CG right here. And it's all painting. Like, the only thing that's real is that road in front of her and her driving away. This is not a miniature. This is a painting right here. It's like a still photo. Because it's all CG'd. You see, this car might be real here. And then the thing there. And, like, maybe one of the other cars on the left-hand side. And it's all fake in the middle. It makes, like, a 3D effect.
See, because I watched something on YouTube recently from the Corridor crew, and they're talking about miniatures. Like, obviously George Lucas, was known for using them, but even a lot of movies today still
Yeah, they use miniatures, but there's no way you can do the detail with a miniature like this. Like, it's definitely a painting.
Well, some of the stuff doesn't stand out as well. Like, yeah, you could see a couple, like the beds of trucks, or not the bed, the trailer parts. You could see a couple of those, but a lot of it's just like scrap metal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's all painted. Like, you're not going to make a miniature of all of that. And then I think these cars on the left here and the car on the right, when you go back again, those are real.
Yeah, in the foreground, the broken down cars, I think those were put in.
They're put in, and then because you can see the difference, and then that's all a painting there, and then it was real when she drove away. Now this whole thing might actually be a painting and behind. It's just the only thing real here is the foreground now as it fades away.
Well, the foreground and the top part as she drove off. That was superimposed.
Yeah. Yeah, like the whole bar, the whole temple, all the road, all the trucks on the side, like that's all painting, and then the only thing real now is the cars. And then her driving away, basically.
As this movie ends, it gives you some suggestions. What movies did Voodoo suggest to you after this movie?
Why, did you, go ahead? Did you,
I exited it out.
Oh.
No, I didn't play anything, but it's recommending me season 1, 2, and 3 of From Dusk Till Dawn, the series. From Dusk Till Dawn 2, Texas Blood Money. And then Pitch Black.
See, it's not recommending me anything because I, typed it in. So it's just showing me all of their movies. It's showing me suggested movies because... Yeah, I'm saying it's showing me suggested movies because I typed in From Dusk Till Dawn. That's,
Right, but see, I'm on the screen where you'd hit play. If you scroll down, they have suggested movies or similar, and that's why I thought Pitch Black was a weird movie to put in with all those. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't see that on here. I don't think it's weird to put in there though. App. I don't think that's weird though to put Pitch Black on there. It's a survival movie with monsters, and you don't know what they kind of are. They're kind of like these weird vampire-y,
I never knew actually,
maybe type insect-like monsters. They're almost like the monsters in the fucking cave movie,
The Descent.
Yeah, they're almost like those things, and those things are very vampire-like. They can see in the dark.
Pitch Black is all off of that. What's it called? That Riddick, right?
It's the beginning of yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm God. It would suggest a lot of stuff.
And also, it recommended Vampires, because Vampires is on Vudu. But it also recommended a movie called VFW. Oh, because Fred Williamson's in it. I'm going to write that down. I want to see what the hell that movie's about. So, wait. Vampires 98. Can you watch it, though? Or they only have a trailer?
Well, it'll say watch free if you can watch it. Otherwise, you're just going to see a trailer.
Yeah.
If it doesn't say watch free, then it's not available on here. Unless you rent it, I guess. Or buy it.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to get you to do, is to rent it. But, ladies and gentlemen, that was From Dusk Till Dawn. GrindHaus on 42nd Street, episode 20. Now, we went over our remaining list at the one of our, what was it, Serial Killer Academy episodes?
Maybe, yeah, probably, because it's a Patreon only thing, so we kind of gave a sneak peek to anyone.
Yeah. Do you think we should let them in on what we have coming up, or at least the next one or two?
Well, I would say just the next one, not the next one or two.
Well, yeah, we always tell them the next one for sure, which is still an awesome movie. But I'm just very excited for every movie we have coming up. I'm stoked. You know what I mean?
Going into episode 25 anniversary. That's why.
Yeah, but even the movies leading up to it, they're all gonna be a good fucking time.
We did that for a reason.
Yeah. And then we still have to make more on that list. But before we announce the next one, I'm trying to.
You're letting your excitement get
trying
to
to
you
wrap
because you
my
want to
head
announce
around-
more movies than you should. So
Well, no, I'm trying. I said before I announce the next one,
Yeah.
I want to stay on Dusk because we're still talking. But I'm trying to explain it in a way that like I didn't already say, but I don't think I can. If you're a fan of Quentin Tarantino movies, of course he didn't direct this movie, but he wrote it, and he wrote all of his other movies. So if you're a fan of his movies, even though this takes a sharp turn into, you know, a different type of movie, I still think you would absolutely love this movie if you haven't seen it. And if you're just a fan of good horror movies, like regardless of you know, Tarantino or whatever, I don't know how you could not like this movie.
yeah, I don't know how you could have missed it, but then again, you know, every once in a while, like we talk about a movie and you never saw it, and I'm just like, how'd you miss it? But I guess, you know, I guess it's possible. I forget that I watch an extraordinary amount of movies sometimes. Like I watch way more than the average person.
Yeah, but I feel like From Dusk to Dawn was a lot more of a big deal than like Invasion USA or you know, Only the Strong. You know, I feel like it was more prominent. But what is the reason that this movie didn't necessarily succeed?
I honestly don't know.
The sequels went both straight to DVD or straight to video,
Sequels
correct?
went straight to DVD. They were like, they took place in like Old West times. You know, I don't know why this one didn't succeed as much. Maybe they didn't get a major release. Yeah, they weren't very good, and just overall, the story was not very good.
So, do you think people were expecting a straight up Quentin Tarantino movie? Because the trailers did not show anything about vampires or horror.
Well, you got to figure, like, you had Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs. You know, Reservoir Dogs came out first, and Pulp Fiction, and then this. But granted, he didn't direct it though. I don't know how much it was marketed as him writing the movie though. Maybe that was part. Maybe they didn't market it as much. You know, because it was like more written by Tarantino and directed by Robert Rodriguez. Because like Rodriguez was an upcomer still. He wasn't really. Desperado cemented him as like a new guy, but not as like. But even then, that's a niche. Whatever. It's a niche action movie. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't. You know, so I don't think it was marketed as well as it could have been. Maybe. You know, maybe put a little more emphasis on Tarantino writing most of the movie, even though he's in it, and it got marketed as him being in it as the main actor. I don't know
wasn't
if they
labeled as a Quentin
yeah.
Tarantino movie.
Yeah, I don't think it was labeled. I don't know. It's hard to go back and remember. You know, so I was 15 when the movie came out.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the world a different way than I do now, and movies a different way, so I don't 100% remember.
Is there anything that you would change? I know it's a stupid question because it is like an almost perfect movie.
I think it's perfect. I don't know. Yeah, I don't change it.
Yeah, I think I might have changed the casting of Quentin Tarantino. I probably would have put someone else.
Yeah. I mean, it works kind of as it is, but yeah, if you could change it to someone else, it could have been better. Yeah, I think it could have been better.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing I would change.
Yeah.
So, what would you give this movie for a rating?
Oh man, like it's a near perfect movie, so it's like 9.5 for me. It's like that high. I think it's excellent. I can watch this movie all the time and not get bored with it. Can have it on in the background. I still know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like it makes me laugh just hearing certain scenes. You know, it's not the perfect movie because Quentin. You know, like I said, we can replace him.
Right.
But you know, it's pretty good, especially over its time, 96. Like it's.
I want to give it a 9.5, but my thing is when I get to a movie that is a 10, then I have to think to myself, how was it only 5 point or 0.5 points better than from Dusk. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but there's like a 10, and then there's like a 10.
Like a,
you know what I mean?
Like a super
yeah,
10.
You know what I mean? There's also a difference. I feel like there's wiggle room. That's where almost that like 11 comes from. You know what I mean? Even though it's not a scale of 1 to 10. What is it? 11? You know, like
we'll say 10 plus.
Yeah.
If anything
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
literally perfect. So if that's the case, if we do have a 10 plus rating, then I would feel comfortable at 9.5 because I do believe everything about this movie works.
Like
Hands
the
down.
only movie that I can think off the top of my head right now that would even push that would be like T2, and that's arguably a 10 plus.
Yeah, but not as a horror movie, but as a movie.
No,
in
just
general.
as just
Like
as
action,
a movie, yeah.
Storytelling.
Yeah. Just as a movie in general, like T2 is one of the the best made movies out there. You know, it's extreme rewatchability. You know, but I'm not getting it all. I'm just saying like just use that as an example of like one of those movies that where like it separates itself from a 10 to a like a better 10, you know what I mean, like a higher on the scale.
Right. Yeah, and like if I was to say, I know it's gonna sound like bullshit but it's my rating. But if I was to say like Friday the 13th Part 4, I would put that as a 10, not a 10 plus, but I think like on a scale of horror movies, I would put that up there as like one of the best.
I don't give it like an 8.
I know you feel.
Most, yeah.
I know you. I know you.
I
feel
love
the same
that
way
movie.
about
I think
Six,
it's a great
though.
movie, but it's like, yeah. Six probably gets like maybe a 9.
It has to get a. You think?
Yeah,
from
no,
Dusk
it's
Till
fun.
Dawn
It's
is
fun.
better-
It's fun and great, but Dusk Till Dawn's still a better made movie.
better made. Yeah.
But I there's the actual movie grade and funness factor. Would I rather watch Dusk Till Dawn or Part 6? I'd rather watch Part 6. But as I'm grading it as a movie, you know what I mean? Like I'm grading the actual movie itself. Yeah.
But these are our personal ratings.
Yeah,
These aren't like official. These are just our
No,
opinion,
but
obviously.
I'm grading a movie though. You know what I mean? Like my personal biases make me want to watch Part 6 more than this. But they're close though. I really do love this movie. This movie like is fucking excellent.
No, I would and that's what I'm saying. I feel comfortable at 9.5. You know, and I can't think of many horror movies that I would give a 10 to. And even 10 plus, I'm trying to rack my brain.
Yeah.
And there's a few, but I'm saving them because I want to get to them eventually and not ruin that.
I haven't really
surprise.
sat down and watched Part 6 in a long time. Like I've put it on. It's been in the background. It's been on the second monitor. It's been whatever.
But you've seen it so many times.
Yeah, I haven't actually sat down and watched that movie in a really long time and picked it apart. Where, you know what I mean? Like in my memory, it's still around a 9. Maybe I'll bump it up more if I watch it again. You know, maybe I'll drop it down a little bit. But
I want to say, do you think you'd actually go down though?
Not if I do. I'm talking like
not.
half a point. You know what I mean? I'm talking like
yeah.
It goes.
It's
in my
not
brain
gonna get
right
a
now,
7
it's like a
from
9. No, it's going to be like an 8.5. You know what I mean? Like it's just going to go down a tiny bit because I'll pick out some production value or something that I never really paid attention to. I didn't like or some little as a movie rating. It's never going to necessarily go down in a fun rating because the soundtrack's too good with Alice Cooper. But now it's turning into a Friday 13th 6 review. But you know what I mean?
But we are watching movies differently now that we are doing this podcast, and like this podcast ruined Meet the Feebles for me. You know what I mean?
I never liked. I didn't like it when I watched it, but you used to hold that movie on such a high pedestal. I remember when we were talking about that. You're like, you're gonna love this movie. It's so great. Like all the stuff about your.
It's funny. It's gory.
Funny, whatever. And I just like shit all over it, and then you kept quiet for a little bit, and you're like, no, man, it's great. It's great. And then when Gore got off the line, you're like, all right, you know what? This movie sucked. It's not like it's not what I remembered it. Like,
dude,
it's not like it's like it was just funny.
Because I'm
like, I knew it.
I haven't been higher drunk. I haven't been higher drunk in almost 7 years. Okay, this movie, obviously, you need to be intoxicated in some way.
Yeah.
Or like a young, like 13, 14-year-old kid. You know, it was a different time.
Yeah.
But regardless, the movie will always have a special place in my heart because of who I watched it with and, you know, shit like that. But, obviously From Dusk Till Dawn did get a TV series afterward, years later. It had sequels, but none of them hold up to the original.
I can't say the TV series doesn't hold up to the original, because it's one of those where you really got to watch it. It's like in depth. You got to watch that. It's not a casual streaming series. You know what I mean? Like you really got to watch it. There's a lot of story, a lot of narrative. I did see the first 2 seasons, but it was on my second monitor while I was playing video games, and I could have been doing God knows what, how, and playing some game and super into it, and just in one ear and out the other. Like it's just it didn't work. I have to go back and rewatch it. I was so lost in a lot of parts. Like it was just. You
know what? That might be a pretty cool like review if you actually did like say you did, because I think there's 3 seasons. Say you yourself put out 3 videos of like a season 1 breakdown review, season 2 breakdown review.
It depends. It might even be like that complex where you have to like cut it into episodes. Maybe like season 1 and that, and I don't know. Maybe do season 1 like first 6 episodes. Say it's 12. You know what I mean? Then you season 2
like a story
second
arc.
half. Yeah, like. The first half and then the second half, because I got to go back and rewatch it, but I didn't have time to do it.
Yeah, I am interested. I shouldn't have said it wasn't as good, but I know the sequels of the movies were not.
No, not at all.
So
I'm not saying they weren't fun, but I haven't seen them since I owned them, and I had them VHS. I don't have them anymore. I should have kept them. It's another thing, I didn't realize how rare some of these movies would be. It was young and dumb and stupid, and got rid of everything and couldn't keep everything around.
Yeah. And that's why in our older age we've kind of become hoarders a little bit, because we know of the shit that we lost. You know what I mean?
There's just so much shit I've lost over the years I wish I kept.
But that's why we don't get rid of shit anymore. If you look at our backgrounds, all of our shit, because you never know when something's going to be hard to come by again, So yeah, this is officially the highest rated movie by both of us. And it's episode 20. So we've done this 20 times now. And of 20 different movies, this was the highest rated.
Yeah. I think rightfully so, though.
Right. And obviously, that should be like our seal of approval. If you've not seen this movie, absolutely 100% you got to go watch it. Do you have anything else for the movie?
No, I'm just kind of curious. Dusk Till Dawn 2, just like the prices. I went on eBay real quick. And, yeah. Like I'm getting like everything. I'm showing like all the DVD stuff which I owned and don't have anymore. The 2-disc set special edition, you can get it for like $2 plus shipping. It's kind of ridiculous. Dusk Till Dawn 2 on Dusk Till Dawn 2 on. I think it's the DVD is like $8, but I had a VHS. I'm curious. So someone's selling it for $2 plus shipping. It looks like there's one.
Yeah, unless the shipping's like $10 or $12. You know, what I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, there's another one on here. Free shipping, $5 for a DVD. But you can get, like I said, you can buy that Blu-ray that has all of them. So it's not like it's just stuff I wish I still had. Yeah, there's another VHS version for $2. So this one's not. Holding the. I mean, I got it for. I think I got them for $2. It wasn't like part of a Blockbuster. It was like a sticker deal. It wasn't like a 4%. They were getting rid of all these. So I bought these 2. I bought Ghoulies 3 and 4 because I already had 1 and 2 on DVD. So I bought 3 and 4 on VHS, and then some other I think I bought Warlock with Julian Sands and some other like random stuff. So
yeah, okay. Well, I think other than that, we can pretty much wrap it up.
Yeah.
Except our next episode, episode 21, I believe is the newest movie we've covered on the show.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had to put on a shirt that represents the genre because it is officially like my favorite exploitation genre. And
Cannibal Holocaust.
Obviously, we're not reviewing that one as number 21 because I don't even know if we'll ever touch that. But we're going to go over Eli Roth's Green Inferno.
That's right. I have mixed
little controversy behind it,
mixed reviews on that for myself personally. I know you really enjoy it, but that should be a fun one to go over and rewatch again. I've only watched it once.
Yeah.
I've watched it once, so there's one that
and you weren't really breaking it down when you watched it, though.
No. I did a little bit because me and Gore had this list of movies, and we kind of fell through. And this is like years ago that we were gonna watch, and she was one of the movies she told me to watch. You know, and like that I would really like, she thought, and we were going to do like reviews to each other about movies that each of us liked that the other one never saw. I forgot what I told her to watch. I don't know. It was like I'm talking this like 3 or 4 years ago, probably.
Yeah.
It was on the list.
So, if you guys are excited, if you know anything about the jungle, Holocaust, cannibal movies, don't miss next week's episode.
I don't know. That about wraps it up.
Other than that, yeah, I am great.
Go do the things. Go like our stuff. Go to Patreon. Yada yada yada. Tune in next week. We go live.
Same bat
next
time,
week
same
also,
bat place.
We go live next week again. Yada yada yada.
That's right.
But other than that, he's Gray. I'm Wolfman, and GrindHaus out.